Let's go ahead. We are going to start the third head of income. Under income tax also it is the third head. And coincidentally in our classroom coaching also it becomes third head. We did house property first. Then we did salary. Side mein as a byproduct we have also completed clubbing of income. But we now go to a very important head of income. A very important head of income. That is charging section 28. What is the charging section, Mitro? Charging section 28. Profits and gains. Income tax is very clear. We tax you on your profit. This is income tax. This is not indirect tax. Indirect tax is levied on the sales. So, as a consumer, you buy any product from any shop or you take any service. On the sale value of their product or service, they charge a GST. But income tax will be always levied on the net. एक काम करेंगे, that famous sentence, that sentence which we have to complete our syllabus, उसमें which line is going on? Computation of net taxable total income. What is not included? Over. 2 heads out of 5 things that are included, 2 heads over. Sometimes other person ka income is included, clubbing over. So now we are doing a head called profits and gains. Of what? Profits and gains can be earned from business or profits and gains can be earned from profession. Profits and gains from business or profession. Business or profession. The charging section for that is 28. Section 28 says that profits and gains from activity number 1, business. What is business? Business is a continuous activity of sale of goods. And you cannot make a list of this. If I ask you to make a list in this world, how many businesses are possible? There can never be any rigid list for that. There was one Bollywood movie. Anil Kapoor becomes one day ka chief minister in that movie. Nayak. Okay, when he becomes that one day ka chief minister, he comes on TV as CM and encourages people that if you buy anything, sales tax de ke kharido, sales tax. Those days India mein used to be sales tax. And then he quotes an example. And I quote, आप कुछ भी खरीदो, whether you buy a hairpin or aeroplane, pay sales tax and buy. Because to save that sales tax, you don't take bill from the shopkeeper and that full payment goes in his black money is what he said in the movie. What I learned from this is, there is someone who is selling hairpin and making profits. There is someone who is selling aeroplane also and making profits. Goods can be anything. The list is infinite. Everything that you have with you, whether your notebook, pen, calculator, specs, your clothes, whatever, your bottle, your bag, see only the things around you. These benches in the class, the projector, the laptop, the AC. Someone has sold it. मतलब ऐसे देखने का नहीं बोला था. Hey, AC लगा हुआ मालूम. Someone has sold it to someone, no, and made a profit out of it. That profit will be taxable. That is the charging section. And what is profession? Very easy. Instead of goods, when you are selling, so goods mein I said sale of hairpin or aeroplane. Service mein CA, CS, lawyer. Anybody has lawyer in family? कौन से कोर्ट में? बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट. तो कभी PIL, VIL किसी के अगेंस्ट फाइल करना होगा तो हो जाएगा. हाँ, सोच रहा हूं 2-3 लोगों के अगेंस्ट PIL फाइल छोड़ो तो दुकान बंद कर रहे. यू क्लोज योर ईयर्स. क्लोज योर ईयर्स. हाँ, CA, CS, lawyer, doctor, engineer, they are not selling goods. They are selling services. आजकल तो sometimes these guys are also acting as sales agents only. बोला ये ले लो ना, ये वो ले लो ना. CAs are selling insurance company का policies and doctors are selling medicine company का medicines. But their core activity is providing service. You know what? Income tax is indifferent. Income tax says you sell something tangible, that is goods, or you sell something intangible, that is services. Whether hairpin or aeroplane, whether CS or doctor, in course of sale of your goods or services, are you going to make profits? Those profits are taxable. What is the meaning of charging section? Charging section is that section which makes that particular income tax, which says that if you have this income, you have to pay tax. वो है ना charging section. For example, salary का, house property, कुछ भी बोलो ना. House property, business, obviously 28 written in front of you. And after this we have two more heads of income left. Capital gain का charging section is 45 and other sources का charging section is 56. But as we proceed, go by the flow, it is like that. So you sell goods or services, मतलब you do business or profession. Chapter का नाम क्या? Business or profession. And then they say profession के definition में we will include vocation. Sir, now what is this? See, when you are qualified, you have a professional degree and you sell your services. That's profession. Without being qualified, if you still have some special skill which everybody does not have. You see so many those online social media influencers, TikTokers, they may not have any degree. The ones who make reels also, TikTok band hua to Instagram reels started, YouTube shorts started. ये 30 second में मामले को, this is direct tax. Sometimes 300 hours are also not enough, but people don't have that much patience. बोलते हैं the duration should be less, इसलिए वो 30 seconds के अंदर convince whatever you have to. वो dub smash करके, all those people, they don't have degrees, but they have skill, talent. That is vocation. They are making money with that also. Profession includes vocation. In simple language, income tax does not differentiate between sale of goods, sale of services with professional qualification, or sale of services with skills involved without degree. Ultimately, you are going to make profits with all of that. We have to take tax on your profit, whether the profit is earned from goods or services or skills. If there is profit, we take tax. If there is profit, we take tax. That's the charging section 28. Profits or gains from business or profession. Business or profession, and profession includes vocation. This is what the charging section says. The net profits. Mitro, the net profits. Very, very important term in the charging section. The net profits of a business or profession. Now are we clear? Both the activities are covered in this chapter, and profession will also cover within itself. Whether you sell services with degree or without degree, it is sale of services, profession. So goods or service, business or profession. If you have net profits, most important term here in this statement is net profits. The net profits of a business or profession are chargeable to tax. The net profits of a business or profession are going to be, mitro, chargeable to tax. This is the charging section. So let's be clear, we have not studied much till now. You are selling goods, that is business, or you are selling services, that is profession, includes if it is a skill based service, not a degree based service. In both activities, you will be making profits. And if you make profit, pay tax. On what? On the profit. Not on the sales, but on the profit. You have to pay tax on the profit, because income tax ka thumb rule principle is we always tax you on the net income, never on the gross income. And if net profit is taxable income, can I conclude that for a business or profession, the net profit is taxable income? Net profit is taxable income. That's the charging, that's the law. So that's the charging section. Net profit is taxable. Chaliye, take. I have a question, sir. And the question is, this term, this concept, this name called net profit, before today in our life, हमने कभी सुना? We know what is net profit. We know that net profit is nothing but if I am doing a business. So what do you mean by net profit? That the sales you make in your business minus all the expenses of running the business. Whether you write in the upper wala account or niche, whether you write in the trading or the profit and loss, whether it is cost of goods sold or whether it is your administrative overhead costing हुआ है, overhead costing. Some are saying yes, some are saying no. ऐसा cost sheet तो क्या हुआ है? One day you will learn cost sheet. In that you will be taught a concept called overhead. इसे overhead मतलब डोक्यावर नहीं. Overheads मतलब all the expenses which are directly not related to manufacturing the product. Indirect expenses, as rightly said. These are classified into manufacturing overheads. मतलब factory workers का salary, factory का rent, factory का electricity. Administration overheads मतलब office का rent, electricity, office employees का salary. And then we have something called selling and distribution. S&D overheads we call them. That's sales, commission, ऐसा कुछ. To hell with that. Talk about accounting. Are all of them expenses for running your business? Whether at the manufacturing level, office level or the sales level? All expenses which are incurred for the purpose of earning your sales. They are known as a diversion of income under income tax. Under income tax, there are two concepts. Very easy to understand. Nothing that you have to write and learn. Knowledge ke liye I am telling you. There is something called application of income and there is something called diversion of income. Application of income and diversion of income. Supposingly you say you have sales of 15 lakhs. Modi ji, 15 lakh. You have sales of 15. You can't sell without purchasing if you are a trader. Or manufacturing if you are a manufacturer. Assume trader. So trader must have purchased before selling for 15 lakhs. And obviously purchase price has to be lower than if he is doing a proper activity. 10 lakh mein purchased. Matlab any product purchased for 10 lakhs sold for 15 lakhs. Correct? Which typically is the profit ka formula that was taught to us in our childhood. Selling price minus cost price, 5 lakh ka profit. This 10 lakh is called diversion of income. Before I earn 15, I have to first incur 10. Otherwise, I will never be able to earn 15. Or can I also say 10 lakh is an essential expenditure to earn 15. Without 10, 15 is not possible. Yes. That is diversion. That is an expense necessary for running your activity. Such expenses are going to be allowed. Is that understood? Now, what is application of income? 15 earn karne ke liye 10 is compulsory. So, what is that called? Diversion. Diversion of income. Correct? What is application? 10 was to incurred earlier, pehle, before 15. After 10 was incurred, that was like your investment. Then you get 15. Now you have a profit of 5. That belongs to you. This 5, you use or you don't use. You convert into currency notes and put showering on yourself. पैसे का बारिश or something like that. You वो Bollywood movies में दिखाता है कि make a bed of currency और उसके अंदर जैसे ऐसे play करो, ऐसे you play with that. Or you surrender your profit at the feet of your mother. That is application of income. What you do with your profits after earning, you can retain them in business. You can withdraw. Proprietorship में, partnership में we call it drawings. Company में we call it dividend, distribution. You can retain also. So reserves and surplus. Are you understanding? That is application. That decision is yours. But you don't have the right to do that for the full 5 lakh. From the 5 lakh, your profit, a portion belongs to the government. So you pay tax on 5 lakh. Then after that you can do whatever you want. Understood? So that is called application of income. Means in simple language, anything which is necessary to earn your income is diversion. And anything which you do after earning, whether you do shopping or you save for your future or you just keep it at home, do whatever you want. That is not necessary for earning your sales in business. That will not be allowed. In other words, diversion of income will be allowed or you may say that application of income is not going to be allowed. Charging section, section 28 says, if you have earned profits from which activity? Business or profession. Business or profession. So pay tax, but pay tax on net profit. This term net profit we have heard before, so we know it is sales minus expenses. Okay, but my question is, when you say that you have heard net profit before, have you also seen net profit? Heard is one thing and seen is another thing. Seen matlab in your life nahi. Somewhere in your papers, in your books, in your sums, you've seen net profit ka figure. You've seen while solving sums in accounts. First time when you were taught final accounts in 11th standard, final accounts of proprietor, only one adjustment, closing stock. Then 12th mein you get partnership final accounts, usme you get more adjustments. You have seen. Which is that place where you have seen? Accounts textbook agreed. Usme chapter final accounts agreed. In final accounts, which place? I wanted to hear this. In the profit and loss. Matlab, you will not get to see this in the balance sheet. Balance sheet mein to we just transfer, and that is also, if it is a proprietor, to we add in the capital, nahi to we add in reserves and surplus if it is company final accounts or anything like that. Okay? So you know where to get this figure from the profit and loss account. Okay, the last entry on the left side which we circle. Abhi left side wala debit hai ke right side wala, that's a big pain to remember. So left side wala last under the circle, balancing figure. By the way, I hope you know that if the balancing figure is coming on the debit side, that means it is a credit. सुना ही होगा आपने तो, ओपनिंग बैलेंस सेम साइड एंड क्लोजिंग बैलेंस. हाँ, अरे यार क्रेडिट में तो आर कम्स. अच्छा, मैं भी किससे बात कर रहा हूं? ऑब्वियसली वी ऑल कम फ्रॉम द सेम प्लेस. पॉइंट पे आते. चार्जिंग सेक्शन सेज पे टैक्स ऑन नेट प्रॉफिट. बिफोर टुडे ऑल्सो वी हैव सीन नेट प्रॉफिट. And the place where we have seen net profit is called. Chalo, let us make a temporary profit and loss account. Example profit and loss account. Okay. Debit side, credit side. Debit side all expenses, credit side all incomes. Credit side. Supposingly we have done sales of 25. Everything in lakhs. 25 lakhs. Sales ke liye we will need to have cost of goods sold 10 lakhs. Matlab opening plus purchase. You minus closing stock here or you write closing stock here, it is one and the same. I am doing the net treatment. COGS. बोलना मतलब सर टू लिखो बाय लिखो एकदम ठोकेगा पकड़ के. सर राइट टू एंड बाय. नहीं, I am not here to teach you that. ठीक है. Other than the cost of goods sold, right now we discuss we will be having some overhead expenses, indirect expenses, administration, manufacturing, S&D. I am covering all of them. Say 3 lakh rupees. Apart from that, is it also possible that for the purpose of running our business, we have acquired some assets, or assets ke upar we will charge depreciation? Honestly, depreciation is a part of our overhead expenditure. When we don't take the full cost of asset, we take part of the cost. But only for presentation purposes, I am taking it separately. Say another 4 lakh rupees, which means that the total expenses that I have incurred for running this business is 17, against which I got sales of 25. As of now, my profit and loss account is showing a profit of 8 lakh rupees. Going by the charging section, my taxable income in PGBP is 8 lakh rupees. Read what the charging section says. Net profit of a business or profession. This can be a business, sale of goods or services. Profession. Net profit is taxable. Matlab, before I explain anything, one thing I would like to clear. Inflow is only this. All this is outflow. You agree? ठीक है. एक काम करो, pick up the passbook of this assessee. Passbook में the receipts will get covered. Assuming that the assessee is operating fully in banking channel, no cash business. So passbook will show receipts of 25 lakhs. But we don't tax you on 25 lakhs because this is direct tax. Indirect tax, government will tell you that pay on this. Indirect tax is always on the gross receipts. Income tax ka principle is net profit. That is what they write here also. And I already presented. Sales minus all expenses. Matlab diversion of income. necessary expenses. Expenses which were necessary, without which earning profit was not possible. All that is going to be allowed as a deduction. So what have, ye clear hai? So we pay tax on this net figure. Because charging section is a one liner. Charging section number 28. What is that line? Pay tax on net profits from business or profession. I then took you one step further. Net profit? Sir, this term to we have heard before in accounts. I asked you where you get it. You said P&L. I made a P&L. And according to the P&L, the figure that we are getting here is our net profit. And if income tax ke according, this is my taxable income. Apparently, if you look at it, it appears like this only, no? That as per income tax, this is my taxable income. So I have a very big question now. Very big question. If according to income tax, net profit is taxable income, what is PGBP? We are computing the head of income, no? Where we have to do computation. In salary, we said give standard deduction. Give entertainment only if government employees, professional tax only if paid. In house property, we said from GAV municipal taxes if paid. But from NAV standard deduction and interest deduction. But PGBP is not giving any standard deduction. PGBP says take all your actual expenses, which is net profit. And net profit we have made before today hundreds of times in the profit and loss account. If this is my taxable income, then why is it such a big head of income? Ye question hai which we have to answer. Most students come in CA intermediate, they clear exam, they come in CA final and they are not able to answer this question of mine. I will frame the question. What does the charging section say? I am first asking some statements. Finally, I will frame the question. What does the charging section say? Pay tax on net. Net profit to I have made before also. I am thinking as a student, not as a teacher. Net profit to I have made so many times. Where do I get it? Profit. And that I already know. In fact, in my 11th standard, I was taught. If this is my taxable income, then what is this professor going to teach me for these minimum 18, maximum 20 hours? A question. If net profit is taxable income and you already know how to make P&L in 11th standard, see, I was a science student in 11th. मेरे लिए 12th में accounts was a big pain. I was never aware कि I have made accounts where I have written 2 year and by year. I have done this. I am telling you. वो बात अलग है. With time, things do change. You just have to put your effort. वो बात अलग है. Okay. But in your case, so you all are studying accounts from 11th and your base has to be strong. You are the only people in the planet, on the planet, where I can 100% be sure that your base in accounts has to be the strongest in comparison with anybody else on the planet. Because my base became strong from the same place. बराबर है क्या नहीं? CA intermediate में, मतलब हमारे टाइम पे it used to be PCC. PCC में I was actually in another coaching class. Regret it. Most students of my batch could not score good in accounts. They failed only. 40 bhi nahi. But I got 79 because base was strong. In fact, accounts was highest in all the 6 papers. We had only one accounts ka paper. You all have to know. We had only one accounts ka paper. 79 highest. मतलब there were people who did not get that much in 2 attempts का total. मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ. CA after all. Okay. Base was एकदम मजबूत. So my question to those students only whose base is very strong. If net profit is taxable, which is computed in P&L account, which we have studied from 11th standard, and by the time you come to final, so how many years say you are making accounts? So what am I going to teach you? Can you elaborate?
For example, in this one, depreciation is a non-cash expense. So actually, the cash which was spent.
Okay. That is your guess or maybe assumption. Truth is that depreciation is also, though non-cash, but an expense. So you purchase an asset in fact. So you are allowed that also. But to an extent, what you are trying to interpret, at least you are understanding what I am saying. Okay, which expense to take, not to take. चलो वो भी ठीक है. Anything else? Means the question is, if net profit is taxable income, I already know how to do it. So what are you going to teach in a head of income, big head करके you are harassing us? What are you going to teach? Because profit तो we already know. ये question है. And if you know the answer to this question, you will very well understand what is happening all throughout the chapter. Same बनेगा ना. If supposingly I am a chartered accountant, I will make a similar profit and loss account. Business or profession, example is same. क्या नहीं आएगा? मतलब सीए का ऑफिस ऐसे हवा में चला था वो, ऐसा बालकनी में खड़ा होके ऑफिस रिटर्न ऑडिट. ऑफिस का सीए की ऑफिस का एक्सपेंस नहीं होता, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं होता, स्टाफ नहीं होता. We never said small or big. That was never a part of our discussion. Question was, is there expense? हाँ, small मिलाते जाओ, large बना. Point है. Anything else you like to say? सुनो, I am creating controversies now. Okay, controversy कुछ ऐसा. Net profit is taxable income. Net profit is visible in the profit and loss account. And the final amount in the P&L account becomes basically my net profit, which if I read the charging section will also become my taxable PGBP income for income tax purposes. But problem ye hai that when we make a profit and loss account, we sometimes end up doing those entries also which are not a part of my business activities. For example, if I have earned bank interest 5 lakh rupees, I record that in my final accounts. Bank account debit to P&L account. If I have earned income from agriculture, ultimately final accounts will have to reflect my profits, my incomes and expenses. I may pay tax, I may not pay tax, but I have to record it, 10 lakh rupees. And if agriculture income is recorded, तो उसके सामने agriculture expense will also be recorded, because final accounts have to record everything. I will record income like dividend or rent. Example, 7 lakh rupees, I will record all these incomes. Correct or no? That means any financial transaction that I do, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains, whether they are related to business or not related to business, I am going to do that. Do you understand? Now after these entries, which every assessee will pass in their final accounts, what is the revised figure that you are getting here? Please tell me. Hey, mental maths. Exam में 5 plus amount पूछा है, वो तो हमको सबको मालूम है that this is net profit. Hey, mental maths in your exam, no 5 plus 3 is 8 or 7, you are going to confirm once. भाड़ा भरा है कैलकुलेटर का, रेंट यू हैव पेड? नहीं भरा है? 22 आ रहा है? Okay, 22 is coming because of the incomes we recorded, because of the expenses we record. ये सोगा को टपली मार. टपली बोला था, ऐसा प्यार करने को नहीं बोला. I am getting 22. Come back to the charging section. According to charging section, net profit is taxable income. Yes. And what am I getting in that? 22. That means going strictly by the computation ka section, 22 becomes taxable income. But idea. If 22 is coming as my answer, isko kuch kam karne ka style. Supposingly, I do gift to father 10 lakh rupees. Gift to mother 10 lakh rupees. Gift to wife 2 rupees. Ek minute, tell me, if I write 2 rupees, will this amount become 0? No. नहीं. 0 बनाने के लिए how much I have to write? तो first ऐसा करने का, first make this 0. ठीक है? First make this 0, then balancing you write here. Net profit is taxable income as per charging section. Charging section no nahi, charging section yes. Net profit, charging section used which term? Net profit. Correct or no? देखो sir. 0. Any businessman or any professional in the world pick up profit and loss account. check what the figure is coming with business activities. Okay, make that 0. So pass entries. Write anything, no. Father, mother, wife, neighbor's wife, roti, kapda, makan, chaddi, banyan. Write anything, no. Make this balance 0. No, he is doing it. You can't stop him because debit bhi apna, credit bhi apna. No one can stop you from doing this. One thing I will tell you, no one can stop you from doing this because ultimately it is your books of accounts. Whether you do manual or you do it on computers. Tally करके वर्ल्ड का सबसे पॉपुलर, वर्ल्ड का मतलब इंडिया का सबसे पॉपुलर सॉफ्टवेयर इज दिस software called Tally. Most chartered accountancy firms do their accounting in this software. Most businesses do their accounting in this software. Keep on passing the entries. There is receipt ka entry, payment ka entry, there is journal entry, there is contra entry. All the facilities are there in the software. All the accounting knowledge is given to the software. You just have to tell the software which entry you have to pass. Pass, no, who is stopping you? And if given at the freedom of the assessee, do you agree that every assessee with his freedom will end up making this 0 and then say, ayo, what is taxable income as per charging section? Ye dekh. Net profit is taxable, but net profit is 0, net profit is taxable, net profit is 0. Every assessee will end up making net profit 0, effectively taxable income ko 0. Kahin na kahin, we cannot, we will not, we should not allow this. Unless you know the problem, how will you learn the solution? In other words, the net profit as per profit and loss account is the wrong profit figure. Is the, kya bola mitro? Wrong profit ka figure hai. Pick up that amount. Now check if the assessee has made any mistake in profit and loss. What can be types of mistakes? Please understand. There are some entries which I have written here. Is the impact of these entries coming in my profit figure? Yes. But sales is the only entry that should come in P&L for business purposes. Other entries should not come. Some of them are exempt. Some of them are taxable under other heads of income. They should not come from business. So we will have to minus them. Start with this figure, but minus these amounts. Likewise, ye bhi to possible hai that I have forgotten to write something. Means sales was actually 30, but I forgot 5 lakhs. That has reduced my profit. To add, matlab what are the 2 mistakes I am telling you? Something that you have written, but you should not write. Is that a mistake? Something that you have not written, but you should write. Obviously, one will be rectified by adding and one by lessing. So, same 2 mistakes will happen here also. And correcting these mistakes is the chapter PGBP. PGBP is difference between accountant and auditor. Accountant will do anything. You check as per tax provision whether the accounts are right or not. Accounts may be correct as per accounting provision. But as per tax, are these accounts right? Make the accounts in accordance with tax. It also means there may be some assessees who have not made any of these mistakes. Matlab, they made a P&L account where only incomes of business and expenses of business are recorded. Any non-business income or expense is not recorded only. Maybe an assessee, kya me? I make a profit and loss account annually. Profit nahi hai, sirf loss hai. Example ke liye bola. I make a profit and loss account annually. On the credit side, I record only those entries which are my profession ka turnover. Debit side, only those expenses which are allowed in the business profession ka chapter. My net profit in profit and loss account becomes my taxable PGBP. I don't have to do any entry or adjustment. And if there is any other entry, I directly record in capital or drawings. So I do not affect my profit ka figure with any mistake because I am aware of the law. But accountants will not be aware. They will pass any random entry in the profit and loss account. Therefore, the profit and loss account ka profit figure will be wrong. Start with the wrong profit. Make the corrections. Did you understand 4 types of corrections? Plus minus here and plus minus here. 4 mistakes rectified and you come at the correct profit. Start with wrong profit. 4 corrections. Reach the correct profit. But we will not call them wrong profit and correct profit while solving sums. While solving sums, we call them net profit as per profit and loss account. Start with that. Means we start with the wrong profit, then go and check the mistakes, correct the mistakes, and final answer, you can say net profit as per income tax, or you can say net profit as per PGBP, or you can say taxable PGBP. So start with wrong profit, but don't write no wrong profit. Write net profit as per P&L. Matlab net profit as per P&L will be wrong. If that is right, no, then there is no PGBP ka chapter. Because PGBP ka chapter teaches only how to rectify those mistakes. So start with wrong profit, but on paper don't write wrong profit. What will we write? Net profit as per P&L account. Make 4 corrections. I'll teach those corrections in detail. Matlab wo hi padhana, that is the chapter. And derive your correct profit, but don't write correct profit. Write PGBP. So start with net profit as per P&L and derive your correct PGBP by rectifying these mistakes. That is PGBP. Charging section says net profit is taxable income. ठीक है? We have seen the concept of profit before today. Where? Profit and loss account. Yes or no? So, chronologically aate hai. We started. What have we studied? 1378. Sorry. We'll start from the start. Charging section 28. What is taxable income as per charging section? Net profit. Where do we get net profit ka figure? Next question. Who makes that profit and loss account? I'll give you options. You will say, sir, accountant. My option mein accountant is not there. Who makes P&L mein my options are assessee or AO. Matlab assessee or officer, assessee or government. Assessee? Yes. Even if it is an accountant, it will be on the instruction of the employer, no? Yes. Abhi to salary ka chapter is over. So accountant will pass entry on the basis of what was instructed to the accountant by his employer. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Ha. So assessee. If assessee is passing, assessee can write anything. He can write any nonsense. Gift to father, mother. My question is, if you don't give gift to father, can you still achieve sales in business? Yes. If you don't give gift to mother, can you still achieve sales in business? Yes. If you don't give gift to wife, you may or may not get to stay in your house. Can you still do business? Yes. Huh? So these are not necessary for running your business. Correct or no? Correct or no? So assessing officer has to keep a check on this. Assessing officer cannot come and make your profit and loss account. The assessing officer is not Lord Krishna. No? He will take birth in every to eliminate the evils. He will not take birth in every household. Whenever he will take birth, he will eliminate the evils. तुम बोलना मत कि 11वां अवतार में है करके 10 अवतार. तो Lord Krishna was an avatar of Lord Vishnu. मतलब अगर इतना आपको मालूम है कि नहीं, I don't know. But okay, Hinduism says that 3 ही भगवान थे, ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश. And उसके बाद में they are all avatar of Lord Krishna या Lord Shiva. But assessing officer is not Lord Krishna. He will not take birth in every household. किस लिए? P&L बनाने के लिए. नहीं. There is a college in Delhi. Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU. नाम सुना? You know, it's a very, very controversial university. It has students like Kanhaiya Kumar, Umar Khalid, Nirmala Sitaraman. They're a student of JNU. Do you know that? Now, if she comes from JNU, so as expected, so ऐसा बोला जाता है, some years ago, JNU का students were shouting anti-India slogans. It was the month of February. They say there was a person responsible for attack on Indian Parliament, Afzal Guru. He was hanged. And on the death anniversary of Afzal Guru, they were shouting slogans. Bharat tere tukde honge. They were shouting slogans. And therefore they are famously known in political circles as the Tukde Tukde gang. They were shouting slogans. JNU. They were shouting slogans. तुम कितने अफजल मारोगे, हर घर से अफजल निकलेगा. एक अफजल को शिवाजी महाराज ने भी मारा था, अफजल खान को, मालूम है? And then there was Afzal Guru. But they said कि और आएंगे, हम लोग और लेके आएंगे. Dekho, we are not getting into political discussion here. Each one has, some of you are minor child. You can't have political affiliation also. But once grown up, you will be having political inclinations. We are not getting into it. Second, I was not present over there on that day. So I can't comment whether the video was authentic or no. Whether it was, because some political parties ka IT cells are excessively intelligent in manipulating video, especially when it comes to Rahul Gandhi funny video. So some political parties are champions in doing that. My point is, when they say, तुम कितने अफजल मारोगे, हर घर से अफजल निकलेगा. हर घर से अफजल probably निकलेगा, but AO definitely नहीं. Point is that I am not here for politics. So point is that if there is no AO in every household, accounts you will only make, and you will do this nonsense, and therefore the profit as per account will be wrong. We will rectify the profit, and that's our chapter, profits and gains of business or profession. So now that we have understood what we are supposed to calculate in this chapter, how is PGBP income going to be computed? What is the pro forma, the format of computation of PGBP income? Because there was a pro forma in salary, basic salary, DA, allowances, perquisites, gross salary, deductions. There was a pro forma in house property, GAB, municipal taxes, NAV, standard deduction, interest deduction. Similarly, there is a pro forma in PGBP and one in capital gains also. IFOS mein there is no pro forma because it is not actually a computation. It is like if you don't go anywhere else, you come. So you just have to keep on adding them. There is no pro forma. But here there is a particular format. And orally we discussed what is going to be taken as the base figure to start our computation? The wrong profit. But on paper we will not write the. So what will we say? Net profit as per profit and loss account. That is going to trigger your solving part in your exam. Net profit as per P&L. And now we know that this profit and loss account will have 4 types of mistakes, and PGBP is about rectifying those mistakes. What are those mistakes? 2 mistakes will be rectified by making an add side in our profit and loss account, matlab in our computation, and 2 mistakes will be rectified by making one less side. So on add side there are 2 points, on the less side there are 2 points. Add side, one is related to income, one is related to expense. Less side, one is related to income, one is related to expense. Plus understand the whole background. Copycats. First understand the whole background. Okay. On the credit side, is it possible that there are 2 mistakes? I told you with example. You have wrongly written them, or you have not written some unrecorded sales. Matlab one of them will be rectified by adding, other by subtracting. Matlab income ka 1 point will come here, 1 point will come here. Likewise on the debit side, same 2 mistakes. You have wrongly written that gift to father, mother, wife. And it is possible that there was some genuine expense of business, but you have forgotten to write, like there can be unrecorded sales, there can be unrecorded purchase also. So one mistake will be rectified by adding, one by subtracting. That means add side 1 expense, less side 1 expense. Means 2 adjustments on the add side. 1 income related, 1 expense related. 2 adjustments on the less side. 1 income related, 1 expense related. Means income related 2 adjustments, 1 add, 1 less. Expense related 2 adjustments, 1 add, 1 less. Correct? And that's our PGBP. If you make these 4 corrections, so PGBP is done. Let's now put them in words. Because we don't know how much time will, or how much space will be taken. Okay, let's put them in words. On the add side, please understand. If there is any expense which is debited. Dekho, is this understood? One will be related to expense, one related to income. Yeah. Same thing on the less side also. If there is an expense which is debited. Okay. If there is an expense which is debited, what have you done to your profit figure? Anything that you debit, what happens to profit? You have reduced it. You agree with this? But this expense is not allowed to be deducted in PGBP. Inner column I am writing. Not allowed. This is not an expense which is related to your business. This was not necessary for the purpose of earning your income. Example. Now think about it. Gift to father, mother. I told you no. You can still do business, That means, is it a business related expense? No. By debiting, now this will give the clear picture. By debiting gift to family in your P&L account, what have you done to your profit figure? And is that a mistake?
Yes.
How to rectify? Add it back. And it is generally stated for PGBP. The disallowed expenses means you have to add them back. Well, this is the proof. If you ever come across the term, no, disallowed expense, matlab add in taxable income. And the logic is now clear. Because by wrongly debiting, you are reducing your profit, rectify that. Are you understanding? Chali. Next. Second will be related, at least you all understand this much will be related to income. Any income which is not credited. तो क्या बोला debited? Any income which is not credited. देखो, for the expense वाला adjustment which I wrote on the ad side, gift to family. Can I show you? ये देख. Has it reduced your profit? How to correct this mistake? Add it back. But when I say income which is not credited, so I can't show you in the P&L account. ये देख. I can't show because you have not written. And the mistake is only that you have not written. Any income which is not credited to P&L account means, can I say you have not recorded in your income? But this income is taxable. Wait, we can't stop here. Because I have not written my salary. I have not written my salary here. ठीक है, तो not credited है, and it is a taxable income. तो इसीलिए I should write taxable under section. This is the completion of the statement. I can't write all my taxable incomes. I have to write only my business wala taxable income. So any income which is taxable under section 28, you will have to mention that. Understood? Now let's understand. Now I will give you an example with the only catch that I can't show you in the P&L. ये देख. क्योंकि mistake only is that it is not written. Unrecorded means sales was not 25, it was 30. But you've erroneously omitted one bill of sales, 5 lakh rupees. With the omission of that entry, what happened to your profit figure? How to rectify? बराबर है क्या नहीं? हाँ, so that will be your second point that you will add. Do you see both our format is understood both in the inner column? Yes, sir. The total will go in the outer column. And outer column mein now you have two figures. You started with profit. You have the add side ka total. Aggregate them because you should never leave multiple amounts in the outer column. So aggregate. Okay. Now we will make our less side. Mistakes because of which you have increased your profit. Now you have to reduce. One thing everyone understood, one will be relating to income, one will be relating to expense. Because I told you at the beginning only, income one add one less, expense one add one less. So add side pe one income, one expense, less side pe one income, one expense. Add side over, less side pe one will be related to income, one will be related to expense. On the add side, we first did the expense wala adjustment. So ऐसे income wala should not feel bad, no? Ultimately income tax का act है. तो ऐसे for maintaining peace and prosperity, this time income wala first. And income which you have credited in your profit and loss account. First question. If you have credited something, what have you done to this figure? Increased. See, if it was your sales and you have credited, so there is no error. We are not here to rectify things which are already right. If it's a mistake, and how can this be a mistake? If it is not taxable. You listen carefully. You can't stop here. Because if you write not, मेरी बात सुनो. If you write not taxable, so you will come here. देखो. This is income. It is credited. And it is taxable in business. So don't touch. This is income. Which is credited. Is it taxable or not taxable? It is taxable. Correct? That means if we stop the adjustment here, so that means we are not subtracting bank interest, but that's a mistake. Because bank interest is taxable. But under other heads of income. If we stop here, that means we are subtracting only exempt incomes. But we are not subtracting exempt incomes. We have to subtract exempt incomes and also incomes which are taxable under other heads. Matlab bank interest, not related to PGBP. Agriculture, not taxable at all. Dividend, rent, also other heads. Dividend in IFOS, rent in house property maybe. मेरा point क्या है? All these incomes are increasing your profit figure. Some of them are not taxable at all. Some are taxable but at other places. You agree with this? Yes. Those which are not taxable at all, we have to reduce them. Because we've already credited, our profit is wrong, so we have to reduce. But they won't be added anywhere else. Just a reduce in business computation. Those which are taxable under other heads, reduce it here and then add in that head. For example, rent, reduce in business but then take in house property. Dividend, reduce in business but take in IFOS. Bank interest, reduce in business, take in IFOS. Supposingly I had written salary income also here. Reduce in business but take in salary. Means two types of wrong credits will be there. Not taxable at all or taxable under other heads. One which is not taxable at all is called exempt income. Less in business, that's it. One which is taxable under other heads, less in business, but add in that other head. But as far as business is concerned, both. That means anything which is not taxable, per you can't stop. Anything which is not taxable, what will we say? Not taxable under section 28, we will have to subtract. What are the examples? Instead of giving you income ka examples, I would rather say any kind of exempt income, because then on the credit side, whether you write agriculture income or share of profit from firm or share of profit from HUF, any of these incomes, correct or no? Or income taxable under other heads. This will cover your salary, house property, rent, interest, everything. All this has to be subtracted. It has increased my profit figure, but it is not a part of my business. Idea is to keep whatever is part of my business and to eliminate whatever is not a part of my business. Okay? Chaliye. वैसे I was pleasantly surprised when I stopped here this much के साथ. Some students in fact said the right side of the entry, which means that you are understanding what is happening in class, and if at all you are, so we have one last point remaining. One thing is for sure that it is relating to expense. ठीक है. I'll give you a hint. देखो, you don't give the correct answer is okay because you are learning PGBP for the first time. Sometimes final का students also don't give the right answer. But if you try and give the right answer, तो imagine the confidence. तो try करेंगे. Hint 1, it is relating to expense, but that I have told you repeatedly. Hint 2, it is a mistake in my expense recording. Such a mistake because of which profit increased. And we have to therefore put it on the less side. Now try. Expenses which are not. तो सुनो. If it is, wait 1 second, accounting वाले part पे wait. Not debited. तो incomes जो credited था ना, for that I could show you. ये देख, wrong credit. If the expense is not debited, I can't show you ये देख because it is not there, and precisely that is the mistake, that it is not there. Correct है नहीं? तो सुनो, income which is not debited, but sorry, expense which is not debited but allowed as a deduction. Expense which is not debited but allowed as a deduction. Example. Can I then say something called unrecorded purchases? To give you an example, 1 minute इधर. Purchases of 5 lakh, one bill was eliminated in the accounts. If I record that purchase, that means profit will reduce, but not recording was a mistake. So how to rectify that mistake? By lessing it in my computation. Now see, can I say that we have understood that there are 2 adjustments on the add side, 2 adjustments on the less side. These we are adding, तो उनका total भी right here. अभी these we are lessing. और students का habit क्या? The amount which is subtracted anywhere, no, in accounts etc. You have the habit of putting it in bracket. So some students aisa. And these are two things. There can be 10 expenses which were not recorded, and all of them you will write. So ऐसे कोई student तो first writes the full list, then ऐसे कर दे. If I am checking your paper now, कचरे का डब्बा में I will throw your paper. It does not work that way. Please understand how we will present. Presentation is important. At inter level you need to be taught this. Final level पे we don't consume time to teach all this. Understand करो. First of all, in the inner column we are not lessing. We are aggregating all the less वाला amounts. So actually तो we are adding only. Take that total where, and the total you subtract. So in the entire computation, only this one amount will come in your bracket, the total of the less side. Matlab, individual amounts in the inner column, total in the outer column. Individual amount, total in the, and only that less side ka total. Add side ka total don't put in bracket. Less side ka total will be put in bracket. This mitro is, you call it correct profit in your mind, but paper pe PGBP. Just like you call this wrong profit in your mind, but on paper net profit as per. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is how you compute profits and gains of business, or this is typically the formula of PGBP computation. House property told compute GAB, municipal tax. Salary said check the allowances and the perquisites. PGBP says check the profit and loss account. Check if there are errors. Errors of 4 types. Written but to not be written, and not written but to be written. Likewise, debit side. Written but not to be written, and not written but to be written. Accordingly, one add, one less on both sides. Means add side 1 income, 1 expense. Less side 1 income, 1 expense. Typically, this will make your computation of PGBP. Is this clear? Till here. Now, how are sums asked in exam? See, our focus will be on logic, and that is what we play on. The USP of our class is going to be logic, but PGBP is one chapter where method of solving is equally important, as important as the logic. Kyunke if you know the method correctly, there are chances that you will score full marks in your PGBP ka sum. This will carry 12 to 14 marks in your 60 marks. Cut to CA. By the way, you want to become CA inter tane bhatia ke CA tane bhatia? वो बोल रहा है CA तने. You want to become CA तने? मतलब in front of your name you want CA inter के CA. तो one day you have to give final. 100 mark का direct text paper. First 30 marks MCQs. Then starts your subjective, मतलब descriptive. Solve करने वाला paper, which is divided into 6 questions of 14 marks each, but you have to attempt any 5. 14 into 5, 70, and 30 MCQ हो गया ना 100. Okay, 1 you can leave in options. ठीक है. In that 14 ऐसा नहीं है कि full paper में 5 sums only. It can be question 3A, 3B, 7, 7. 4A, B, C, 8 plus 3 plus 3. Internal breakup can be any. Question 2 will be 14 marks. Yes. All questions are 14 marks. Yes. Question 2 of CA final direct tax paper. Profits and gains of business or profession. Fix. Fix matlab fix. Full 14 marks. Sometimes they convert it into a total income question. Matlab they ask 10, 12 marks ka PGBP. Then one adjustment of capital gains. Ya one adjustment of set off. Ya one adjustment of clubbing. One adjustment here and there. And sometimes they don't ask any other head. But PGBP is the major component. And most cases it is full 14 marks only PGBP. If there is a separate question on capital gains, no, of 8 to 10 marks, that is also coming in CA panel many a times. So फिर PGBP में they don't keep capital gain का adjustment. Because they are already testing by way of a separate question. And if there is no question, so 1, 2 marks maximum. But and there also I take a guarantee, my guarantee of minimum 12 marks. Same is the case of CA intermediate also. My guarantee of minimum 12 marks. 2 marks is called normal loss. Normal loss सिखाया कॉस्टली? Yes, sir. For silly mistakes, clerical errors. और कर for silly mistakes, clerical errors. क्या बोलते हैं? Error of omission, commission. 2 marks I am keeping for that. Otherwise, if you don't make stupid mistakes due to exam pressure, it is likely that you get full 14 in CA Inter PGBP, full 14 in CA Final. Only if you follow the methodology. Observe carefully. More than an hour since we started the chapter, but we have studied only one section, charging section, only one line, net profit. Beyond that, we have not, we are talking accounts. But this is the trick to get marks. And now what I am going, I am still not starting any section. I am going to give you a trick to score marks. If you know this trick, you're sorted in life, bro. ये trick पता होना चाहिए. And the trick is this. Every PGBP का question will give you a P&L account. At intermediate level, they given T format. अभी तुम बोलना मत सर, वो शेड्यूल 3 के हिसाब से बना के वर्टिकल फॉर्म में कान के नीचे I'll give you 2 types. T format. Final में they make it complicated, you know, by asking how. They give a statement. The net profit of ABC Limited as per accounts is 45 lakh rupees. After debiting the following things, एक list देता है. Debits, gift to father 5 lakh rupees. Stationary expenses of office 1 lakh rupees. ऐसा, you have to check which of them is allowed, which of them is not allowed. And then they give another heading, credits. Rent received from house property. Salary received, ऐसा करके they give debits and credits in statement form. Which becomes more difficult because if we see in T form, can I say these are the credits and these are the debits? Anything that is written here is credited and not written here is not credited. Likewise, anything that is written here is debited and not written and not debited. It becomes easy to identify. So, honestly speaking, the solution part is very easy if it comes to CA intermediate. But my mind, no, when I deal with CA inter students, I never deal with them as a CA inter student because today or tomorrow, you have to develop the skills of everything. And if you develop it today, when other people actually develop it, by that time you all are at advanced knowledge. When other people are trying to learn something, you are like, ये तो मेरे को आता है, ये तो मस्त है, तो I know this. That should be our tendency and mindset. इसीलिए we will be talking about little both of them, but as of now T format. Observe करो. These are your credits, these are your debits. Correct? And if the profit and loss account is given to you, my question is, do you have this figure in the question? If P&L account is given to you, a statement format में they start the sum कैसे? ABC Limited is showing net profit of 45 lakhs after the following debits, following credits. So whether T format of CA inter or paragraph format of CA final, the profit and loss account has to be. मैं rectify क्या करूँ? You don't understand that what is PGBP? Pick up the wrong profit and find out the correct profit. तो पहले give me the wrong profit. Accountant to auditor, if I have to convert, तो पहले accountant make the accounts, then I will do the audit. No. They will always give you the P&L. If they give you the P&L, now understand what is happening. If profit and loss account is given to you, this means your trigger is given to you. If profit and loss account is given to you, whether in T format or whether in statement form, do you have the profit figure which will give you the start? Search for the profit figure. In this P&L, it was 0. Whatever is given in the question. Search for the profit figure. Directly write it in the outer column. Wrong profit nahi likhna hai. Mind says wrong profit. Paper will say P&L. Write that in the outer column. Is that clear? That will trigger the start of your sum solving part. We are fully focusing on method of solving. Section so we are not learning also. Section we will go very soon. Okay. But is the start clear? Now there are 4 types of adjustments to be done. If I do 4 types of adjustments properly, correctly, effectively, I will get my marks. थोड़ा सा post-mortem हो. Focus करो. All the 4 adjustments. They have a left side, they have a right side. Focus करो. Focus करो. The left side of every adjustment is what you have done in accounts. And the right side is the treatment in tax. In accounts, expenses can be debited or credit. तुम्हारा माथा Debited or probably you have not recorded, तो not debited. Credit नहीं होता है. नहीं तो पूछता हूं, where is 11th का next batch कभी है, पूछता हूं. Debited or not debited. And in accounts, incomes will be credited or that is the treatment in accounts. Please listen. That's in your control. You can do whatever you want. तुम्हारा तो अलग ठग लाइफ है. तो इनकम को लिखो ना, डेबिट साइड. You can do whatever you want. No, you are you after all. You write expenses on the credit. बोला sir, I am making ulta P&L. I am making mirror image. I want to do. You do whatever you want. Don't forget, accounts are under your control. That means, can I say, if any question gives you profit and loss account, so this part is given to you. Think about it. मतलब debited and whatever is not written means not debited. Credited and whatever is not written is, तो हो गया. Which expenses are debited, which expenses are not debited, which incomes are credited, which incomes are not credited, that will be given to you. If P&L account is given, whatever is not written is not debited and not credited. Of course, we call them adjustments. Just like in final accounts also, they give trial balance and they give adjustments. Okay, so मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? You understand it like this. Not forget the adjustments. Forget the adjustment. What you understand is P&L account going to be given? Without giving you P&L account, there will be no PGBP का question. Which is why I said no कि ये वाला figure is going to be given. It will trigger your solution. Start हो जाएगा. If P&L is given, forget adjustments. Look at only the P&L. Look at only the P&L. What is debited? Can you identify? So anything what is not there in your identification is not debited. Same thing on the credit side also. So do you realize that this we can identify just by reading the question? This does not require us to have knowledge of tax or tax provision or any chapter or any PGBP or any charging section. Accounts will be given to you. Tax is being taught, no. Accounts will be given. So is the left side of every adjustment which will be given to us in the question clear hai? Chaliye. Right side pe we will have the tax treatment. If students can make mistake of saying expenses debited or credited, so here there is more likelihood of going wrong. Here there are some students which say, sir, ye expense to taxable hai na. You are not doing expense tax act, you are doing income tax. Expense ke saath you can never use the word taxable or not taxable. Expense means will we get deduction or we will not get deduction. If it is deductible, we call it an allowed expense, and if it is not deductible, we call it a disallowed, a not allowed, inadmissible expense. ठीक है. Income की बात करते. In incomes, the tax treatment can be taxable or not. कभी कभी क्या होता है, there is an exempt income given in the question, like agriculture income, 10 lakh rupees. Student reads this, student knows that is 10 lakh के ऊपर he does not have to pay tax in PGBP. Correct? So what does the student say? Sir, ये income तो allowed है ना. Income cannot be allowed or disallowed. Income can be taxable or not taxable. So your terminology, your words should be absolutely clear. In accounts, for expenses, the two possibilities are debited or not debited. And for incomes, in tax, this is more likely to go wrong because accounts mein you will not go wrong, I am telling you. In tax, for expenses, the two possibilities are allowed or disallowed. And for income, taxable or not taxable. Correct? Chalo. As far as the accounts are concerned, once the P&L account is given to us, can I say accounts are readily available? Now we have to go and see the tax treatment of income as well as expense. Focus on the income part here. Can I summarize that the income part is somewhere given to us here? The two possibilities for income is, the two possibilities are income can be or not taxable. Correct or no? This is not given in any section of the chapter. This is not given in Income Tax Act. This is just requiring one thing. Do you have common sense? Because they call it common sense, but unfortunately it is very uncommon. Not many people have it. When you are dead, everyone knows, but you don't know. Same is the case when you are foolish. Common sense is very uncommon. इसीलिए examples से we will talk about. You just have to tell me. I will list a few incomes in front of you. You just have to tell me. Do you think they have connection with your business activity or no? If connected with your business activity, तो yes. If nahi, तो no. And every yes of yours means taxable in business. Every no of yours is not taxable in business. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Sales.
Yes.
Yes. Salary received from employer.
Yes.
My question is what? You are saying yes for which question? That's what my question is. No, so be clear. Are you clear about the question? I will give you list of incomes. You decide, does this income come because of my business activities? My professional activities? If yes, तो taxable. If no, तो not taxable. Correct है? Start again. Sales.
Yes.
मतलब you say yes means you are saying taxable under business. देखो वैसे तो salary is also, that confused you. वैसे तो salary is also taxable, but not under. Correct है क्या नहीं? हाँ तो sales.
Yes.
Salary received from employer.
No.
Professional fees received from client as a CA.
Yes.
Rent received from residential house.
No.
Rent received from commercial property.
No.
Rent of office.
No.
Office?
No.
क्यों? क्योंकि section charging section 22 says whether residential or all kinds of property. So that will also go there. That means here it will become no. You understood? Other business receipts.
Yes.
And the question says business. मतलब business receipts. GST paid earlier in business, now refund received. Earlier we paid, तभी वो expense था. Paid का I am asking only of incomes, no? I am only asking about incomes. GST which was paid during your business activities is now received as refund. Question understood, no? Yes or no? देखो easy है क्या? Sales के लिए yes या no बोलना. And rent sales के लिए yes बोलना and rent के लिए no बोलना is nothing great. This is the toughest you can say. Other than this, if I say dividend or bank interest and you say no for everything, nothing great. Because they are all going to go in other sources. वैसे भी dividend and bank interest do not come out of business activity. Supposingly you are a share trader also. Regular buying and selling of shares. Still dividend is not business. Share sell करके the profit that you earn is your regular activity of business. Dividend is still going to go under other sources. Correct? होता है ना. Very much. I'll tell you how refund कैसे मिलता है. I did a transaction which I believed that GST is not applicable, but GST का officer said नहीं भरना पड़ेगा. So I paid. Is that clear? And then I filed a case against him. I won the case. So the tax that I paid will now be refunded to me. Is that clear? तो refund मिलेगा क्या नहीं मिलेगा? That is not the question. Refund is possible. चलिए. Question is understood, no? GST का refund receipt. ठीक है. चलिए को hint देता हूं. Let me see when some people change. अभी के लिए how many people say yes related to business? Say yes, shout करो. Yes. How many people think no? जोर से.
No.
Almost equally divided ऐसा लगा. Okay. I'll give you a hint. Let me see if people change their answer. When I pay GST, supposingly I am a chartered accountant, so 1 lakh की fees pay, I have to collect 18,000. That 18,000 I will pay to the government. Correct or no? So credit side में sales में supposingly I have written turnover full 1 lakh 18. But सामने debit side पे I will write 18,000 because 118 I received, but 18 does not belong to me. I have to pay. So I will write that, debit that, and that will be allowed as a deduction to me. Means when I will pay GST during my business activities, I will call it a business expense and take deduction of the same. Is that clear? ऐसा हो सकता है that I believe that my service was exempt service, so I will not pay GST. Correct? Still AO took it from me, so I debited and I showed it as business expense and claimed as deduction in business. After some years, when I won the case, I proved it to the court that my service was exempt service, not liable to GST. AO has forcibly taken GST from me. Please tell the AO to refund it. The AO has refunded the GST from me. So is it a part of business? That is the discussion. Those who were saying yes earlier, do you still say yes? Those who were saying no earlier, do you still say no? Matlab you are changing your answer. Now you understood. GST paid is allowed as business deduction. That's the line. GST paid is allowed as business deduction. So GST received is taxable under business. Okay, you have taken deduction. Supposingly GST chhod do. Okay, I am using your premises for my office. I pay you rent. I debit that rent and I take the deduction in business by showing it as an expense. After some time, I vacate your premises beforehand. Pre-vacation. As per agreement, we had given each other a time. By 15 days ka notice deke I vacate. But I had paid you extra rent in advance. So some of that you will refund, no? 15 days ka cut karke. That means I am recovering my expense. My expense is no longer an expense because I have recovered it. So the deduction that you have taken earlier, you now have to reverse it and offer it to tax. Samjha? So likewise, GST maybe you took deduction, but now you have received refund. So reverse it. But आपने नहीं था, but आपने भरा. तो my story you understood or no? AO जबरदस्ती took it from you. So you paid. अभी you paid or you will record क्या? नहीं क्या? मैं केस लड़ रहा हूँ तो I will not record on the entry. So cash balance only will not match. You will record. So you wrote it on the debit side. Wrote it and you took deduction also of that. नहीं था but he took it. तो अभी क्या करेगा? Record तो you will have to know. तो हो गया ना फिर. Understood क्या? हाँ. तो for business का taxable or not taxable income, you actually just have to think, okay, is it due to business activities or not? There is no section in the entire chapter which has given anything. And finally, we come to the last part. That is expenses ka tax treatment. What are the two possibilities? Allowed or not allowed, or disallowed is the more appropriate term actually. Okay. This is given. Allowed expenses are given from section 30 to section 36. 28 pe I started the chapter, then I have not taught you a single section. 36 pe hai, and there is a general section also, 30 to 37, subsection 1. Allowed expenses are 30 to 37 1. After that, your disallowed expenses start. They start from 37 ka subsection 2b and they go up to section 43b. Matlab, after section 28, if I continue the PGBP chapter in Income Tax Act, it starts with 30 up to 37(1). What is given in the Act? The expenses which are allowed. Once that gets over, 37(2)b starts, goes up to 43b, expenses which are disallowed. Income Tax Act में PGBP chapter is over. Income Tax Act के अंदर the PGBP का chapter is over. मतलब if I teach you 30 to 37(1), so what have I taught you? Allowed expense. If I teach you 37(2)b to 43b, so what have I taught you? Act is over. Income Tax Act has given only this much. Allowed expense, disallowed expense. Allowed expense, disallowed expense. I will not skip a single section. No selective study. Except if you open the institute ka module. Okay. In the module, they have stated that following sections have been excluded from CA intermediate syllabus. Matlab we don't want to keep them in your portion at inter level. There is a list given. You must have seen because I know you have opened the book. So initial पे मतलब in the first volume starting का pages they call it initial pages. They have given section wise exclusion, chapter wise exclusion. So chapter by chapter there are some sections which are excluded. Other than the exclusions, I will cover all the sections which are a part of CA inter का portion. But if I teach you all the sections, everything in the Income Tax Act without leaving anything which is there in CA का inter का portion, you know what is that everything? Allowed expense and disallowed. Bas. And here is where students don't score marks in tax because they learn only this much. Not a fault of the student. Because if the student has learned this, matlab student has learned all the sections in the act. But to get marks, you have to do this much. And the difference between marks is learning this and knowing this. To get marks, you need to know how to start from here and go up to here. But Income Tax Act does not teach us all that. Income Tax Act has taught us only what? Allowed expense, disallowed expense. Allowed, disallowed. Act khatam. We have to take the trouble of learning the remaining. And इसके लिए there is a trick. If you go by this trick, it will take more time than other people. But other people will make mistakes. We will never make a mistake. Not a single mistake. ऐसे थोड़ी guarantee I am taking of full marks. There is a trick involved. And that trick I will share with you. Not many people in the country know this trick. Okay? क्योंकि with due respect to every respected teacher will start with 28 charging section. बोलेगा net profit is taxable. To compute this net profit, following are the allowed expenses as per Income Tax Act. Is the teacher teaching everything? Following are the disallowed expenses as per Income Tax. मतलब this you are allowed to subtract, this you are not allowed to subtract. Has the teacher taught all the sections of income tax law without skipping anything except those which are excluded from inter का syllabus? तो टीचर का तो कोई फॉल्ट ही नहीं. Do you understand? But institute is not just going to ask you, is this allowed, is this disallowed? Institute will say compute. Now for computation, just knowing allowed or not allowed is not enough. Please understand. An expense is allowed. Say your office ka rent. So obvious that it will be allowed. Okay. But I will have to go and check what has the assessee done in accounts. Because accounts are not in our control. Accounts are in assessee ka control. What are the two possibilities? Debited or? This rent which is allowed. If debited, has the assessee done correct treatment in account? Matlab are his accounts at par with tax? So fir no problem. But second possibility is that he has. That means his account not matching tax. Mismatch hai. Then you have to do this adjustment. Not debited but allowed. So you have to identify kaun se side. Are you understanding? Supposingly there is house ka rent. House ka rent cannot be allowed in your business ka expense. Business will give you only business ka deduction. House rent not allowed, so obvious. Knowing that it is disallowed, that means you have studied the act. And professor has done his duty by teaching you that office ka rent allowed but home ka rent not allowed. But that won't get you marks. Because now you will have to go and check. What has the assessee done with house ka rent in accounts? Possibility 1, bolo. Debited. Is this right treatment in accounts or wrong treatment in accounts? कौन सा रेंट है? हाउस का रेंट. What is the tax treatment? Allowed क्या disallowed? Disallowed. ठीक है. Tax we have to learn. We have learned. Disallowed. याद रखना. House का रेंट disallowed in tax. But that can't get you marks. अब जाके accounts check कर. Which possibility? First one, debited. अब सोच के बोलो. Is this the right treatment? No. You have debited मतलब reduced your profit. But which is not allowed. How to rectify? ये है वो एंट्री. Second possibility in accounts. Is it correct? Is account same as tax? So no need to do anything. मतलब this means if I know the tax treatment of any transaction, whether income or expense, I give you a rent का वो expense का example, but now I'll talk about both, whether income or expense. If I know the tax treatment of an income or expense, that much is not good enough to score marks in PGBP का sum. Tax treatment का knowledge is not going to get marks. Marks चाहिए? After learning the tax treatment, go and compare it with accounts. See whether accounts are according to tax or not according to tax. If according to tax, so no mistake, no effect, no add, no less. If not according to tax, मतलब mistake है, which then you have to check, add करके rectify के less करके. That is very difficult, not as easy as it appears. Some must be thinking, क्या sir ये add less करना है इसमें? What are you teaching us? When it will come to solving part, you'll realize that difficult ये है. Difficult may not be learning the allowed or disallowed expenses because a list is given. You have to learn that. Difficult is that after learning that, go check in accounts. In other words, this is the process which will guarantee your marks. Longer than other people, but accuracy level 100% and 99. Every amount that is given to you in your question, you go and check whether that amount ka treatment in accounts, क्योंकि accounts will be given to you in the question, is according to tax or not. Tax ka treatment you have as knowledge, accounts ka treatment you have in the question. Tax ka treatment in your mind and accounts ka treatment in the question, compare. Tax, accounts, same, no effect. Different, to rectify the accounts by add or less. That's PGBP chapter. But unfortunately क्या होता है पता है? That we have spent more than 1.5 hours now only to learn the pro forma of computation. We have spent 1.5 hours now and we have studied only one section, which is the charging section. That also only one line, net profit is taxable. बाकी का time we have spent in doing post-mortem of this pro forma. You understand? And I am still not done. Because now we will bring this post-mortem to its conclusion. And see, therefore, this is the final trick of getting marks. This is a summary of what we have already studied. Therefore, every amount in your question will give you which account? Profit and loss account. Every amount that is given to you in the question, but after the net profit. देखो, net profit का तो क्या करना है? Directly write in the outer column. That will give you the start. After net profit, matlab this figure will directly come here. After this figure, look at the, matlab when I am saying every amount in the question means I am talking about looking at these figures. Is that clear? What will you do with your net profit ka figure? Just write it as the starting point, net profit as per P&L. Now look at every amount in the question, means every amount other than net profit. Every amount in the question, go and talk to it. उससे बातें करो. For example, profit को ignore करके talk to the other amounts. Start with the credit side. What is the first amount? Words में sales, figure में 25. Talk to it. Talk to it and ask a question. Ask, बेटा 25 lakhs. ए बेटा 25 lakhs. ए 25. बताना please. Are you an income or are you expense? Talk to that amount. Ask that amount. A25. The income है क्या expense? He will not answer. That amount. बोल, मैं income हूँ. नहीं, some students will come home. ऐसा पेपर के बाद, सर मैंने बहुत पूछा, उसने कुछ बोला ही नहीं सर. I asked so many times I asked. नहीं, you will only have to answer. You ask and you answer. Talk to yourself. मन में हाँ नहीं, जोर से मत बोलना, पागल बोलेंगे लोग. नहीं. Now answer. Because knowing that 25 lakhs is income or expense, के COGS का 10 lakh is income or expense, does not require knowledge of accounts or tax. It requires, हाँ वो बोलते जनरल है लेकिन होता किसी के पास नहीं. कॉमन सेंस है, बट इट इज नॉट कॉमन. करेक्ट है? तो कॉमन सेंस. तो फटाफट आंसर. ठीक है? व्हाट डू यू हैव टू आंसर? ना तो अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट ना टैक्स ट्रीटमेंट, जस्ट दैट इनकम है क्या एक्सपेंस. इधर नहीं करता हूं, इधर नहीं करता हूं. आई विल आस्क यू सम टर्म्स, यू डिसाइड लाउडली. सेल्स, परचेसेस, रेंट रिसीव्ड, रेंट पेड, सैलरी रिसीव्ड, सैलरी पेड, परचेसेस फॉर रेजिडेंशियल हाउस. मेरा नॉट नहीं, मेरा क्वेश्चन इज ओनली इनकम और एक्सपेंस. इफ द ट्रीटमेंट इज रॉन्ग, आई एम कमिंग टू माई क्वेश्चन 2 and question 3. Question 1 is not wanting you to have knowledge of accounts or tax. It only wants क्या? Income and tax. I purchase projector for office. I purchase AC remote at home. I sell that old AC remote. बस वेरी इजी. एक बात बताओ, ऑल दिस इज इनकम एंड ऑल दिस इज एक्सपेंस. करेक्ट है कि नहीं? चलिए, कैन आई से फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन विल बी आंसर विद कॉमन सेंस. नाउ वी विल गो एंड आस्क द सेकेंड क्वेश्चन. बताना बेटा, प्लीज बताना, व्हाट इज योर ट्रीटमेंट इन अकाउंट. प्लीज बताना, प्लीज बताना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इनकम के लिए व्हाट इज द पॉसिबिलिटी in accounts? Possibility 1, that the income is credited, or possibility 2, it is not credited. So for expense, देखो, that means can I say the two options that you give will depend on answer to the first question. If it is income, your two options are going to be credited or not credited. And for expense, correct or no? Is the profit and loss account given to you? Yes. That means this question will give, you don't have to do anything. Question will give this. If this is given, all this is income and credited, expense and debited, and anything given in adjustments. Then you identify income है क्या expense है. देखो, that will depend on what that, if the thing given to you in the question is. If it is income, it is not credited, and if it is expense, bas. So can I say, once you have the accounts in the question has to give you accounts, and once you have the accounts, question 2 का answer is also given to you. तो हो गया. Question number 3 is going to be उस particular transaction का treatment in tax, and this will also depend on answer to our first question. Correct or no? Yes. What are the possibilities? Income can be taxable or not taxable, but we have to mention, क्योंकि not taxable बोला मतलब you are referring only to exempt income, but our target is to exclude exempt as well as other heads. Tax का treatment. Correct? तो expense side पे what are your two possibilities? अलाउड और डिस. चलिए, ये क्वेश्चन है, ये क्वेश्चन है. देखो, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर योर कॉमन सेंस विल गिव यू, सेकंड क्वेश्चन का आंसर द क्वेश्चन इटसेल्फ विल गिव. थर्ड क्वेश्चन रिक्वायर्स टैलेंट. वो भी नो टैलेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड ऑन द इनकम साइड. इज इट रिलेटेड टू बिजनेस, एक्सेप्ट द जीएसटी वाला पार्ट वेयर वी हैड डिस्कशन. बाकी का पार्ट तो एवरीबडी आंसर करेक्टली ओनली. इट जस्ट दिस ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्स कॉमन सेंस. A particular receipt that I have, does it have role of my business or it's a general receipt? If it is related to business, so your answer will be taxable. If not, so your answer will be 28. Of course, related to business, matlab by default we are checking it. And what if I tell you, this is given from section 30 to 37(1), and this is given from 37(2)(b) to 43. I once again repeat what I told you. Income Tax Act has given only this much data. Act has given only this much. If I taught you, if I teach you the sections from 30 to 43(b), that means I have taught you full act. 30 to 43(b) matlab full act. No marks. सीए एक्चुअली टैगलाइन सीए डिजर्व करता है मार्क्स या नो मार्क्स, अब सच में पॉसिबल सीए कोर्स, क्योंकि लर्निंग द फुल एक्ट ऑल्सो विल नॉट ब्रिंग मार्क्स फॉर यू. You know how will marks come? Along with this knowledge, you need to have this computation ka knowledge. Did I make a statement then in this chapter? Logic, we will, without logic, that's our USP. But methodology will be also important. Method of solving is as important as the logic. Logic I can explain only here, because this is the law. But only the law and the logic will not get marks. This procedure will make marks or get marks, and we need to do this. And by the way, normal circumstances में tax coaching में tax classes के अंदर by this time students have already completed 2-3 sections of allowed expenses also, क्योंकि methodology is not important and professor is at his correct only at his level, because professor is there to teach you the act, but marks चाहिए. So you need to know this whole thing, then only you get marks. How? Focus please. Under the income side, you asked 2 questions, one of accounts, one of, देखो income side मतलब first question is income, second and third में there were 2 questions, one accounts का, one tax का. तो what are the possibilities? Accounts का answer is credited, which question will give you, and tax का answer is taxable as per your general knowledge. जैसे sales, best example only is that sales of 25 lakhs. ठीक. Possibility 2, accounts में you have credited, but tax में it is all the other things like agriculture income, like your rent, dividend, anything not taxable under 20. ठीक. Third, accounts का answer not credited, but tax का answer taxable, like unrecorded sales. And fourth, accounts में you have not credited, and in fact it is not taxable also, because maybe it was some salary which I have forgotten to record, anyways I don't have to put it. ठीक है. तो if you understood the 4 possibilities here, you please first give me the 4 possibilities here also, then I will take you ahead. First, accounts का answer is debited, and tax में it is very good, debited but not allowed, disallowed, चलेगा, right है. Next, very good, चलिए. Next task is identify out of the 8 possibilities which are right. मतलब assessee has not made any mistake. देखो, we do add less, only if assessee has made mistake. Correct है क्या नहीं? तो credited है and it is taxable under PGBP. No mistake, तो no need to do anything. Credited है but it is not taxable. Is there a mistake? तो wait, इसका wait, 7 no mistake वाले को eliminate first. ठीक है? You have not written but you have to pay tax. Is that a mistake?
Yes.
Okay, so nothing to be done right now. And you have not written and you don't have to pay tax. No mistake. So we don't have to do anything. जैसे sales was correctly written, COGS was correctly written. You understand what? That will neither be added nor subtracted. Credit side पे, I mean expenses side पे. First possibility, debited and allowed.
Not a mistake.
Identify one more case of no mistake. Not debited and correct है. मतलब in these 4 cases, you understand add less will not happen. Very good. Now that means we are left with our 4 cases where we have to give effect in our sum. 4 mistakes which have affected my profit figure, which is why we call it the wrong profit in mind. Paper पे नहीं. Credit किया but you don't have to pay tax. Music to my ears. सुनो. In any PGBP question to get marks, the final trick is add less, no effect. Add less, no effect. Add less, no effect. And no effect हो गया. Whatever is right, no effect. Whatever is wrong, add या less, add या less. If PGBP में you want to score marks, make add less, no effect as the mantra of your life. Every correct add less no effect will bring marks. Every incorrect add less no effect will make you lose marks. So be very careful, because what appears to be the easiest is actually that place where most students lose marks. Credited but you don't have to pay tax. Add less no effect.
Yes.
पक्का?
Yes,
सुनो मैजिक दिखाता हूं. Income which is credited but not taxable. Correct? चलिए. Not credited and taxable. Debited and disallowed.
Yes.
इजी नहीं है मोहिनी का डांस. इजी लगता है. इजी. बी श्योर. इफ यू हैव डिफिकल्टीज, हिंट देता हूं. टेल योर सेल्फ विद दिस व्हाट हैज द असेसी डन टू द प्रॉफिट. फर्स्ट टेल दैट. रिड्यूस. एंड इफ इट्स अ मिस्टेक, लेस करके हाउ कैन यू रिड्यूस समथिंग विच इज ऑलरेडी सब्ट्रैक्टेड? व्हाट विल यू डू? Expenses which are debited but disallowed. Correct? And not debited but allowed.
Yes.
I'll tell you. By not doing the debit, what has the assessee done to the profit figure? Then there is only one way in which you cannot further increase. There is only one way. You will have to go check. Expenses not debited but allowed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are only the 4 adjustments of add less. Start with profit figure and do these 4 things. You understand? But do these 4 things in pro forma or do these 4 things in this table. You have to do 4 things. And I once again tell you that Income Tax Act in this whole story has given us only this data. This is the only data given in the Act. Act के अंदर nothing else is given. एक्ट के अंदर नथिंग मित्रों, नथिंग इज गिवन इन द एक्ट. एक्ट गिव्स ओनली दिस मच, बट मार्क्स चाहिए तो यू नीड टू डू दिस मच. एंड दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन योर मार्क्स एंड मार्क्स ऑफ एनीबडी एल्स. लॉजिक एवरीबडी विल नो, सेक्शंस एवरीबडी विल नो. मैं क्या बोलता हूं? सपोजिंगली देयर इज अ स्टूडेंट हु हैज नॉट स्टडीड अलाउड एक्सपेंसेस एंड डिसअलाउड एक्सपेंसेस. No coaching class will not teach that. All coaching classes will take PGBP seriously, because PGBP is a highest importance wala chapter in inter as well as final. They will teach you. Matlab they have taught you this, but you have not studied them. Matlab you don't know what is there in the act only. You are unfit for the exam. You go kill yourself. I have zero sympathy for you. I will order a rope and a stool for you. ऑनलाइन ऑर्डर, कैश ऑन डिलीवरी. मैं काय को दू? वापस कौन देगा? तुम तो जा रहे हैं. बाय. नो सिंपैथी. माय हार्ट गोज फॉर दोज स्टूडेंट्स हु लर्न दिस परफेक्टली. इन मिडल ऑफ द नाइट दे आर वोकन अप. बोल तेरे को अलाउड एक्सपेंसेस के बारे में क्या, बोल तेरे को डिसअलाउड के बारे में क्या. मुंह पे लाइट मार के, पानी मार के, देयर आस्क. दे नो एवरीथिंग. दैट मींस हैव दे टेकन द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द एक्ट, द अलाउड एंड डिसअलाउड एक्सपेंसेस वेरी सीरियसली? Yes, but they don't get marks. Why? Because knowing that it is allowed or disallowed is not enough. Go check accounts. Are the accounts correct or wrong? If correct, don't do anything. If wrong, so give effect. Marks तो उधर है ना मित्रों. So, कहीं ऐसा नहीं, some people think that अच्छा सर मतलब this is more important. वैसे एक्ट नहीं पढ़ा तो नहीं, एक्ट नहीं पढ़ा तो you can't start only the chapter. But some people finish the chapter by studying the act. You won't get marks. This is the summary of PGBP chapter. देखो, solve हमको यही करना है. Marks will get by doing this, but you need to have the overall 360-degree idea about what exactly is happening. अब तक in now 2 hours over, we have studied only one section, charging section. That also one line. What? तू खाली खाली बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक देने के लिए आता है, भैंस के जैसे. नेट प्रॉफिट इज द टैक्सेबल. ये अभी डर लगता है, अभी कुछ बोल दिया, ऐसे डांट दिया, कल कोर्ट केस फाइल कर देगा मेरे ऊपर. केस वेस मत करना भाई. नहीं, Net profit is taxable income. Net profit is taxable income. Is that understood?
Yes.
And what is the whole post-mortem of the net profit? P&L account का profit से start, make the rectifications and arrive at your taxable PGBP income. But as we have been continuously discussing, the Act has taught us, will teach us only क्या? From here, the chapter as far as sections, if I am teaching section, मतलब I am teaching Income Tax Act. And sections में only two things are given. क्या? Allowed expenses. They start with section 30. They go up to 37(1). Disallowed expenses. They start with 37(2)(b) and they go up to. Obviously, we will learn them one by one. अच्छा, how many people are thinking, अच्छा sir, 30 to 37(1) मतलब 8 ही सेक्शन है. Oh wow. नहीं. सब सेक्शन तो ठीक है ब्रो. You know what? क्लॉजेस भी ठीक है. सब क्लॉज भी नहीं. There is 35. There is 36. But बीच में there is 35 AD, there is 35 CCA, 35 CCC, CCD, 35 D, DD, DD, DDA, DDA, DD, ऐसा करके. What you understand is that between 35 and 36 also there are many sections. Of course, a lot of those sections are eliminated from the syllabus of intermediate. So whichever is not there in inter का syllabus, we will ignore that. एक बात बता देता हूं कि it is likely कि एक आध section extra हो जाए, कि not there in inter but covered, flow में एकदम class के. But it will never happen कि एक कोई section है और वो cover नहीं हुआ. Okay? हाँ. Extra हो गया तो हो गया, no problem. 29 says, compute taxable income as per the provisions of 30 to 43B. Section 29 is as useless as the AY in OK. नहीं समझा? नहीं बता. As useless as the AY. अभी तो आजकल तो OB is of no. Correct है ना? Section 29 is as useless as younger children of Indian households. अभी बोल yes, बोल yes, नहीं. So you understand that wherever things like these will come, by default they will be skipped. ये coincidence है कि year 29 is there. बहुत सारी जगह पे ऐसा भी है. Between two sections there was a section, but now deleted because income tax law gets amended every year. No? There are so many sections which are not sections anymore. They are deleted 10 years ago, deleted 20 years ago. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है ना कि वो तो next वाले section का मतलब supposingly section 18 supposingly eliminated. Example लेगा. तो ऐसा थोड़ी है 19 को 18 बना लेते हैं. चलो 20 को 19 सिनेमा हॉल है क्या 1 CPU है नहीं ना. You understand? Okay. So those cases you will have to ignore the section. So allowed and disallowed expenses is what we will be learning. First we will go to the allowed expenses starting with section 30. मतलब please understand, as far as provision is concerned, section is concerned, 28 के बाद में we are doing पहला 30. मतलब 2 घंटे बाद नंबर. हाँ, SBI है 2 घंटे बाद नंबर. Section 30. Everybody ready? We are doing an expense which will be allowed. Rent, rates, taxes, repairs, and insurance premium. Rent, rate, taxes, repairs, and insurance premium paid for a building. And now if you have studied house property chapter, you know this, that income tax mein building can be full or part. It can be one unit of a building. Need not be the entire superstructure. No one takes full building on rent. It can be part of a building. It can be one office. Correct? Rent, rate, taxes, repairs, and insurance you have incurred on which asset? Building, with one condition, main condition, primary condition, only condition. If you have to take home anything from this classroom for your exam purposes, what you need to know is only if this building is used for business or profession. Business or profession. Only if the building is used for business or profession, business or profession. Main condition, only condition, deciding condition, only relevant factor that the building should be used for business or profession. Business or profession. Are you understanding that? Logical enough. You don't, देखो, look at my face. You think I can ever buy an office? शक्ल देख के लगता है looks are deceptive bro. हाँ ऑफिस तो खरीद सकते हैं, तो ग्रेट चीज नहीं. इनफैक्ट आई एम लुकिंग ओनली फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट पर्पसेस. अपन मारवाड़ी आदमी, अपने में टैलेंट है, करेक्ट और नो? तो आई कैन अर्न यूजिंग अदर पीपल का रिसोर्सेस. मतलब क्लास तेरा, रेंट तेरा, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सब तेरा, मेरा नॉलेज, मेरा बोलने का स्टाइल, बस. तो मैं क्यों भाड़ा भरू पाता हूं? इससे बेटर बाय ऑफिस, गिव ऑन रेंट, दूसरे की क्लास में जाके अर्न प्रोफेशनल इनकम. व्हाइल यू आर अर्निंग प्रोफेशनल इनकम, योर ऑफिस इज ऑल्सो अर्निंग फॉर यू. दिमाग देखना, मारवाड़ी आदमी. आई एम लुकिंग फॉर वन ऑफिस बाय द वे. बट इफ यू डोंट हैव मनी टू बाय ऑफिस, तो ऑब्वियसली you can do your activity from railway station का bench also. डोंगल लेके नहीं. इफ अच्छा तुम यस बोल रहे, ठीक है, यू वांट टू रन अ कोचिंग क्लास बट यू डोंट हैव मनी टू बाय क्लास, तो क्या रेलवे स्टेशन नहीं चलेगा ना. अभी तो तुम यस बोलो. इन दैट केस यू विल हैव टू टेक एन ऑफिस ऑन रेंट. तो थिंक अबाउट इट. इज दिस एन एक्सपेंस incurred for a building? Yes. And that building is used for business or profession. So that is going to be allowed as a deduction. So how obvious? Office का rent allowed as a deduction. Is that understood? Okay. Criteria क्या है? Used for business. That means here itself it is clarified. That supposingly one day mummy tells, चले कल से घर पे मत आना. Get out of my house. Younger ones of Indian households can influence the parents no in any manner. Well, don't come. So somewhere I will have to go. घर खरीदने का भी ऐसा नहीं कि घर खरीदने का पैसा है, लेकिन जैसा घर चाहिए वैसा पैसा नहीं. ओके. वन डे, वेरी सून, करेक्ट और नो? तो फॉर दैट ब्रीफ पीरियड आई विल हैव टू स्टे इन अ रेंटेड हाउस. आई एम टुडे आल्सो लिविंग इन अ रेंटेड हाउस. करेक्ट और नो? इज दैट रेंट ऑफ बिल्डिंग? आई एम आस्किंग यू. अलाउड और डिसअलाउड? क्यों? So the primary criteria is understood by everyone. मतलब rent of office allowed, rent of home not allowed. चलिए, rates and taxes. Sir, wherever we wrote rent, no, साथ में rates and taxes आया. ऐसा में ना, wherever I go, no, I tease students. है, तुमने कभी अपने अकाउंट्स के टीचर को बोला सर रेंट मालूम है लेकिन रेट्स एंड टैक्सेस नहीं मालूम है? वो तो हमेशा साथ में आता है. I cannot play with danger and do that here. So I am just asking, rent, rate, taxes come together in P&L account, that we all know. Rent क्या है? What is this rates and taxes?
Taxes are the building taxes you have to pay, and rates are those annual maintenance fees and some fees of building with make a building.
वैसे भी इधर तो I didn't ask only, no, कि did you ever ask in accounts कि rent के साथ this किसको? हाँ, तो यू नो द आंसर. अभी उसने बोला दैट यू हर्ड. सो एवरी ईयर यू हैव टू पे एनुअल प्रॉपर्टी टैक्सेस. सुनो, इफ दैट प्रॉपर्टी इज हाउस प्रॉपर्टी वेर यू आर ऑफरिंग रेंट अंडर सेक्शन 22, so you take deduction of municipal tax. But if that is your office, देखो मेरी बात सुनो, rent may come, may not come. If it is your own office, there will be no rent. But this property tax you will have to pay for your own office. This property taxes, the annual rates, the annual maintenance, you will have to pay for your office, no? You understand? So office हुआ तो it will come here. I am paying property tax of home also. I am paying maintenance of home also. So that is allowed or disallowed? Only office का allowed. So that main condition again proved. चलिए, let's talk about the next expense. Repairs. Repairs can happen at office or at home. Office में छोटा मोटा रिपेयर कुछ स्टूडेंट अच्छी अच्छी बात बेंच के ऊपर लिख के एकदम लाइफ मोटिवेटिंग लेसन्स दे राइट ऑन द बेंचेस एंड मेरे इधर सीसीटीवी है डोंट एक बार तो हद हो गया था केरला के अंदर सीए फाइनल में लेक्चर आई वाज टेकिंग 7 AM से लेक्चर स्टार्ट था 6:45 PM हो गया था 15 minutes वर लेफ्ट टू फिनिश द लेक्चर 7 AM to 7 PM केरला में सीए फाइनल वो इतना that day actually normally क्या होता था that 7 to 10 short break of breakfast then again 3 hours का lecture short break for lunch again 3 hours का lecture 10 minutes for tea and then वो last तो generally after the lunch break I used to do only question मतलब सुबह से chapter एक chapter over second I used to not solve any questions only after the lunch break because that is the best time when everybody wants to sleep तो ठीक है बेचारे का थियरी तो मिस नहीं होगा एवरीबडी इज नॉट सोगा के सुबह से रात तक सोगा ही सोगा ओके करेक्ट और नो वो इतना दैट डे ना ओनली थियरी हैपन वो बच्चे इतने इरिटेट हो गए थे ना इतने इरिटेट मतलब ओनली फुल डे कैन यू इमेजिन 12 hours ऑफ थियरी नो मैटर हाउ हाइपर एक्टिव द प्रोफेसर इज लाइक लिटरली जंपिंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर और वो करके लेकिन एट द एंड ऑफ द डे बैठे बैठे भी पीपल गेट बोर्ड नो 12 hours इज टू मच 12 hours अगर तुमको बोलेगा वेब सीरीज का 8 एपिसोड देखना 12 घंटे में फुल बैक टू बैक फुल नाइट यू विल वॉच बट अल्टीमेटली इट वाज नॉट अ वेब सीरीज नो तो एक सम दिया ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग करके चैप्टर है फाइनल टैक्स में सम दिया आई सेड सॉल्व वो बच्चा इतना बोर हो रहा था इधर टेबल के ऊपर रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांसैक्शन अनरिलेटेड पार्टी का ऐसा डिफरेंस करके एंड आई वाज थिंकिंग दैट बड़ा सम है तो थोड़ा 5 मिनट जाके चेयर पे बैठ जाता हूं तो आई वॉज जस्ट गोइंग ऐसे बेंचेस क्या उधर 150 लोगों का क्लासरूम सो बेंच बीच में वॉकिंग स्पेस बेंच वॉकिंग स्पेस तो बेंच के बीच में से आई वॉज गोइंग क्या कर रहा है तू सर आई एम सॉल्विंग सर चार्ट के साफ करवाया तो बोला लिख इट अदरवाइज गेट आउट ऑफ द क्लासरूम ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग मिस करेगा क्लीन इट विथ योर टंग राइट नाउ क्लास प्रॉपर्टी मजाक है ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर इज इन्वॉल्व समझा बट वो तो लाइव पकड़ा गया ना अगर नहीं पकड़ा जाता तो नेक्स्ट डे ऑल द मोटिवेटिंग स्टफ्स यू नो सम पीपल तो एंड कॉलेज डेज में तो वी यूज टू बी बैक बेंचर्स तो क्या क्या लिखा है हमने खुद ने लिखा है दीवार पे लिखा है कॉलेज के वॉल्स के ऊपर क्या क्या चीज लिखा है टुडे वी फील दैट क्या डिस्गस्टिंग बात है बट देयर वर पीपल मैंने नहीं लिखा मतलब देयर वर अदर पीपल बेंचेस पे कुछ लिखा था लेकिन नॉट एज डिस्गस्टिंग एज सम पीपल रोट ओके तो विल द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इनकर ऑल दिस रिपेयर का एक्सपेंस छोटा मोटा बिल्डिंग का एक्सपेंस यस इफ दिस इज रिपेयर इन ऑफिस तो इट विल बी अलाउड एंड इफ इट इज रिपेयर एट होम disallowed and last is again very easy insurance premium to safeguard your asset you take insurance for that you pay premium if you pay premium of your office and home matlab for all the expenses following things are common thing number 1 we are talking about an asset called building full or part full building or office and most important it should be used for business or you can incur the same expense for your residence also that is that question income or expense rent of home is also expense rent of office is also expense but our tax ka treatment will change rent of home allowed or disallowed and rent of office allowed that means any student who knows home rent allowed office not sorry home rent disallowed office rent allowed has the student prepared himself or herself with this section ka knowledge marks nahi milega kyunki home ka rent और office का rent office allowed home disallowed टैक्स ट्रीटमेंट का नॉलेज कांट गारंटी मार्क्स जाके देख क्या क्या अकाउंट नाउ क्वेश्चन विल गिव यू दी अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट बिकॉज क्वेश्चन हैज टू गिव पीएनएल आई एम गिविंग यू बोलो कौन से वाले का यू वांट फर्स्ट होम का क्या ऑफिस का ऑफिस का टैक्स का ट्रीटमेंट अलाउड अकाउंट्स का क्वेश्चन विल गिव यू अकाउंट्स में पीएनएल में डेबिटेड तो म्यूजिक इज एड लेस नो इफेक्ट एंड इफ नॉट डेबिटेड क्योंकि ऐसे कैन डू एनीथिंग नो तो एड नॉट डेबिटेड तो खत्म, टाटा बाय बाय, गया। इजी लगता है ना मोहिनी का डांस, इजी नहीं है। आई विल कम बैक अगेन। चलो मैं एक्शन ओरल ही करते तो ओरल का इफेक्ट हो सकता है। देयरफॉर सुनो, ऑफिस का रेंट यू सेड नो, टैक्स का ट्रीटमेंट अलाउड, ठीक है। अकाउंट्स क्वेश्चन विल गिव यू, आई एम गिविंग यू केस 1 इट इज डेबिटेड, नहीं, एड लेस नो इफेक्ट, नो इफेक्ट, क्योंकि द ट्रीटमेंट इज सिंपल है, अकाउंट इज करेक्ट एज पर टैक्स। सेकेंड पॉसिबिलिटी क्या होगा, क्रेडिटेड, नॉट डेबिटेड। ओके, नाउ डोंट मेक द मिस्टेक, बस इज इट अ नेसेसरी एक्सपेंस, बट यू हैव नॉट रिकॉर्डेड, इट हैज इंक्रीज्ड योर प्रॉफिट, लेस। चलिए, आई हैव टू डू दिस। टैक्स का ट्रीटमेंट यू हैव टू लर्न, इफ यू नो द टैक्स ट्रीटमेंट दैट मीन्स, सुनो, इफ यू डोंट नो दिस आंसर, दैट बिजनेस का अलाउड एंड हाउस का नॉट अलाउड, दैट मीन्स, ये मैं बोला था, यू आर अनफिट फॉर द एग्जाम, rope and a stool, it is for those who don't know this, because you cannot not know this much, but knowing this is not going to secure your marks. अभी क्या, accounts, possibility 1 debited, possibility 2 if debited it is right or wrong, so what to do, and if not debited it is right or wrong, so no effect. क्या हुआ, सोच ले, टेक योर टाइम, थिंक अबाउट इट। होम का रेंट कैनॉट टेक डिडक्शन एंड हैव नॉट रिटर्न ऑल्सो, मतलब हैव नॉट इंपैक्टेड माई प्रॉफिट, तो हैव आई मेड एनी मिस्टेक, क्वेश्चन इज ओनली दिस मच, इज दिस राइट और रॉन्ग, दिस वॉज राइट एंड दिस वॉज ऑल्सो राइट, राइट मतलब नो इफेक्ट, एंड रॉन्ग मतलब इफेक्ट, एंड इफेक्ट में यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी एक्यूरेट, क्योंकि दिस इज गोइंग टू डिसाइड वेदर यू गेट मार्क्स और यू डोंट गेट मार्क्स। एड लेस नो इफेक्ट इज योर अल्टीमेट मंत्रा टू गेट मार्क्स इन पीजीबीपी, अल्टीमेट मंत्र, समझा क्या? तो रेंट, रेट, टैक्सेस, रिपेयर्स एंड इंश्योरेंस, विच एसेट, बिल्डिंग, क्राइटेरिया क्या, यूज्ड फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ बिजनेस और प्रोफेशन, तो अलाउड, और अगर होम का हुआ तो disallowed. Knowing tax effect is not enough. आगे क्या? Go check your accounts and then take a call, add less or no effect. बस ऐसे ही allowed expenses we have to learn. Then they will get over, and disallowed expenses. Okay? This knowledge means Income Tax Act, but extra knowledge equal to scoring of marks. Please don't disappoint me. When your marks come, ऐसा होना चाहिए कि हाँ, the effort has paid. ऐसा नहीं कि फिर यही करना था तब तो फिर इससे बेटर है, I would have done only sections allowed and disallowed. Okay, so don't prove me wrong. वैसे इंटर के टैक्स मार्क्स में ना रियल रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ एफर्ट आता नहीं, बिकॉज 40 तो आईडीटी ओनली, फिर जो मिला ऊपर का वो डीटी, बराबर है कि नहीं? तो योर मार्क्स शुड रिफ्लेक्ट दिस एफर्ट. Section 31. Section 31 is a section under which category of the chapter? Allowed expenses. 37(1) तक allowed expenses. Repairs and insurance. किसका? Plant and machinery और furniture. अभी पिछली बार in section 30 which was the asset, but now plant and machinery or once again the only criteria, the deciding criteria, the thing that you have to take home from here, the only thing that matters is whether it was used for business. If used for business, allowed, and if not used for business, so disallowed. Is that clear? चलिए, sorry, understand करते with the help of some examples. Furniture मतलब टेबल, चेयर, बेंचेस, क्लास का दिस, एक्चुअली है ना, ये वर्ड पोडियम इज अ वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग वर्ड इन इंग्लिश. स्टेज होता है ना, सम प्लेसेस में दैट इज आल्सो रेफर्ड टू एज पोडियम. ये जो राइटिंग वाला पार्ट वेयर भी, माइक में आवाज आएगा रिकॉर्डिंग वालों, ये जो राइटिंग वाला पार्ट है ना, दैट इज नोन एज लेक्टर्न. ऐसा भारी वाला इंग्लिश, LECTERN. अपन क्या इजी वर्ड पढ़ता है ना, इसलिए दिस इज आल्सो पोडियम. और उसको जो एक्चुअल पोडियम है उसको स्टेज बोल देते, क्या चलता है मतलब। ओके, तो ये पोडियम, ये एक्स्ट्रा वाला टू कीप द सेकेंड लैपटॉप, ये मेरे लिए लगवाएंगे, नहीं तो एवरीवेयर एल्स इट इज ओनली दिस मच बिकॉज दे ओनली राइट एंड कनेक्ट दैट। पर मेरा तो द रिकॉर्डिंग इज एस, यू गाइज आर ऑल्सो अवेयर के ये मेन टारगेट, ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग, दो आई डोंट इवन लुक एट दिस, आई टॉक टू यू गाइज ओनली, बट देन दोज हु वांट रिकॉर्डेड उनका ऐसा ही होता है, देयर इज एनीवेज नो इंटेंशन, इफ आई लुक तो आई एम लुकिंग एट द लैपटॉप ओनली, इट्स नॉट दैट आई एम लुकिंग इन देयर आईज because they are not watching, they will watch later. Correct or no? So it is better that I have eye contact with classroom ka students only. So point ये है, all these things fall in the definition of furniture. Correct or no? Now very very easy to understand that they will undergo repairs. Sometime तो they will undergo repairs. Yes or no? Okay. And if we want to safeguard them, so we will pay insurance का premium. Only criteria, only thing that you have to decide, you have to check is used for the purpose of business or profession. मतलब if office में podium, stage, benches, table, chair broken and you get it repaired or you take insurance, तो allowed. नहीं, घर का sofa, dining table can also undergo repairing. Is that expense? Yes. Allowed or disallowed? मतलब repairs of furniture in office allowed, home disallowed. The main criteria is only this. ठीक है, let's come to plant and machinery. देखो, income tax में plant and machinery का meaning is a little different from what you perceive it as. You need to give me a minute of explanation here. Okay, income tax में plant and machinery does not mean only that factory का बड़ा बड़ा complicated machinery or the big cement mixers and etc. Income tax में plant and machinery is basically the same plant and machinery of Three Idiots. Anything that makes your work easy. वो बोला ना, up down up down up down. Not joking. In a CA firm, the computers are plant and machinery. In a coaching class, the projector, the laptop, the AC is plant and machinery. Any asset which is facilitating your activity is plant and machinery. आप समझा क्या? If there is an assessee who has purchased a car for daily travel for the purpose of business or profession, car is plant and machinery. If there is some big company which has purchased any aircraft or private jet or helicopter, private plane purchased for travel of its directors, for travel of their auditors, articles नहीं है, article को कोई private jet में, okay, possible है। देखो बड़े लोगों का जिंदगी हो तो ऐसी, they can do anything, I am telling you. Okay, do you know नीता भाभी का बर्थडे was there, तो मुकेश भाई gave her her private jet का गिफ्ट। You know that? प्राइवेट जेट गिफ्ट किया। हाँ, अपन ना जू जाके हेलीकॉप्टर राइड भी अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते। वी कैन अफोर्ड वन जेट, दैट जेट, हाँ वो वाला, दैट्स पॉसिबली द ओनली जेट दैट वी कैन अफोर्ड। वो मुकेश भाई है ना, ही कैन डू एनीथिंग, ही ओन्स द कंट्री, इज द ओनर ऑफ इंडिया। ओके, माई मदर नो सिंस माई चाइल्डहुड, शी ऑलवेज हैज टोल्ड मी कि अगर कोई भी वीक, कमजोर कुछ भी होता है ना, कभी किसी का मजाक नहीं होना। If you are good in studies and someone is not, don't make fun. If someone is very fat, someone is, ये जो body shaming और ये सब होता है ना, ये एक्चुअली में ये अभी बिकॉज ऑफ द सोशल मीडिया कल्चर नो, इट हैज बिकम अ टैबू। बाकी पूरी जिंदगी लोगों को ये जाड़िया, ये कालिया ऐसा करके वी हैव बीन, इट हैज बीन सो नॉर्मल फॉर अस ऑल आवर लाइफ। ओके, मतलब पूरी जिंदगी, मतलब एनीबडी हु हैज स्पेक्स, ऑल माई स्कूल लाइफ, कॉलेज लाइफ, टीचिंग लाइफ, मेरे को चश्मा आया ड्यूरिंग लॉकडाउन, ऑनलाइन लेक्चर ले लेके। तो ये बैटरी, डबल बैटरी, सिंगल पावर, ये ढापनिया, ऐसा पूरा लाइफ। मॉम ऑलवेज टॉट मी, क्या है ना, किसी को भी चिढ़ाएगा ना, गॉड विल मेक यू लाइक दैट। नेवर टीज एनीवन जाड़िया जाड़िया, गॉड विल मेक यू फैट। इसलिए मैं रोज मुकेश भाई को चिढ़ाता हूँ। एवरी डे आई मेक फन ऑफ मुकेश भाई, गॉड मेक मी मुकेश भाई। इसलिए देखो, my mom has taught me that I sincerely follow what she said. तो देखो, if this private jet is also, this helicopter is purchased for business purposes, that is also plant and machinery. The definition of plant is very wide. All the intangible assets that you purchase for running your business, any patent, trademark, drawing, copyright, for effective operations of your business, that is also plant and machinery. And all of this, now understand, CA firm ka computers, coaching class ka AC projector, any company ka motor car which was purchased for business, do these assets undergo repair expenditure? That is repairs of plant and machinery. Main criteria, only criteria is this. If it is used for business or profession, it is going to be allowed as a deduction. Main criteria kya hai? Used for business or profession. Deciding criteria is used for business or profession. So first of all, are we clear of furniture and plant and machinery coming here? फटाफट. ऑफिस का फर्नीचर में चेयर टेबल रिपेयर्ड अलाउ. होम का डाइनिंग टेबल और सोफा डिस अलाउ. ऑफिस का एसी रिपेयर, होम का एसी रिपेयर. इज दैट क्लियर? मतलब दिस इज द मेन क्राइटेरिया. नाउ यू आर आंसरिंग अलाउड, डिसअलाउड वेरी फटाफट. आंसर इज राइट. यू नो द सेक्शन, यू नो द लॉ के ऑफिस का अलाउड, होम का नॉट अलाउड, ऑफिस का अलाउड, होम का नॉट अलाउड. You won't get marks. Now you have to go and check. And that's PGBP chapter for you. Started with one question. Net profit is taxable? Sir, wo to profit and loss account mein. That to I already know. So what are you going to teach? This. That whether that account is in accordance with tax or not. If yes, then no problem. But if no, तो change करना पड़ेगा. For example, अभी लिखूंगा नहीं and I don't want you to go wrong. Right बोल रहा हूँ. I don't want you to go wrong. ऑफिस का प्लांट एंड मशीनरी और फर्नीचर रिपेयर्ड, दैट्स नॉट इनफ. डेबिटेड तो एड लेस नो इफेक्ट, बस. नॉट डेबिटेड तो आराम से गाय नहीं है. होम का फर्नीचर प्लांट एंड मशीनरी रिपेयर डिसअलाउड, दैट्स टैक्स का ट्रीटमेंट. बट अकाउंट्स का डेबिटेड, क्वेश्चन गिव्स, आई विल गिव. डेबिटेड, नॉट डेबिटेड. समझा? मार्क्स तो इधर है. सेक्शन business profession, marks full analysis. That's the difference. Is that clear? Yes. Chaliye, so repairs and insurance of plant and machinery or furniture is allowed here. Rent, trade, taxes, repairs and insurance of building allowed. Look at section 30 carefully. Look at section 31 also. I'll zoom out a bit. Is it still visible? Yes. Look at section 30 and 31 together and ask me a question. नहीं तो आई विल आस्क यू. आई एम गिविंग यू 1 minute टू आस्क मी अ क्वेश्चन. नहीं तो आई विल आस्क यू. हो गया. वो तो देखो, द एसेट ओनली इज डिफरेंट. हाउ आर दे सेम? डिफरेंट एसेट्स बोला है तो हाउ कैन दे बी सेम? मतलब ये क्वेश्चन है. क्वेश्चन ये है दैट इज इट पॉसिबल दैट यू हैव टेकन फर्नीचर ऑन रेंट, प्लांट एंड मशीनरी ऑन रेंट. योर जनरेशन मे नॉट नो दिस, क्योंकि पेरेंट्स का पेम्परिंग का लाइफ इज वन थिंग, एंड जब चप्पल घिसना पड़ता है ना, दैट इज अनदर थिंग. वंस यू कम टू द मार्केट यू रियलाइज that कोई आपका नहीं है. You are all on yourself. If at the end of the class you are waiting and taking PDF and every day you are taking the trouble of sharing it with people, मतलब you are helping your competitors. क्योंकि कोई किसी में तराग मत लगाओ. You become a CA. You want to conduct a big seminar on GST. GST is your topic इसलिए क्योंकि GST is one topic where neither the speaker knows anything nor the audience. GST, the persons who made the law even today after 5 years don't know anything about it. GST is like Microsoft Excel. No one can say that I know it. ये GST का law है. Every day तो change होता है. many times I feel bad for tax professors कि डायरेक्ट टैक्स वाले के लिए so many amendments. In fact, auntie brings amendments in the middle of the year. But I have more sympathy for GST faculties. Supposingly there is a GST faculty, एकदम पैशन के साथ नहीं प्रोविजन इतना 3 घंटा एकदम चिल्ला के टॉट, क्लास के बाहर निकल के कम टू क्या आइला चेंज हो गया. That is GST. That is how GST law has operated over the years in our country. So I thought कि चलो सेमिनार उस पे रखता हूँ. Okay, even if I don't know anything, कुछ भी बोलना, खाली बोलने का स्टाइल इतना मस्त होना चाहिए. Audience will go by the style. They will say समझा कुछ नहीं लेकिन अच्छा लगा. You do my GST work. Okay. Supposingly someone catches any mistake, तो मैं बोल दूंगा recently change हुआ. Because everyone knows that GST changes regularly. Anyways, most audience will be my illiterate Marwadi relatives. Anyways, they are not going to understand anything. Finally, they will say अच्छा बोलता है रे, कितनी छान बोलता है. You do my GST का work. ठीक है? And I'll collect clients. अभी एक दिन के लिए I need not buy 200 chairs. No. I'll take on rent. Question ये है, is this rent of furniture? Is it a necessary expense for your business? Did you do it for business activity का personal function था? Business? Will we get deduction in section 30? Yes, क्योंकि rent है इसलिए. Rubbish. क्योंकि 30 covers only building. अब पता चला your question was कि sir what is the difference? तो 30 में it is not covered. क्योंकि 30 covers only. हाँ 31 में है ना फर्नीचर है. बोल. Rent is not covered. मतलब the kursi that we took on rent for that one day का GST seminar not allowed as a deduction in 30 because only building is covered and not allowed under 31 क्योंकि rent is not covered. And rent is our target. देखो repairs and insurance are covered in both sections. And rates and taxes can come only for building. They can't come only for these. You don't pay property tax on your furniture. So the only expense which is left and which is creating problem is rent. And we can clearly see it is not covered in both sections. Covered in 30 but only for building. And 31 में plant and machinery furniture. ये furniture का example था. I told you how cruel this world is. क्योंकि चप्पल मैंने घिसा है. I know that. 2010 में I started teaching. 12 तक थोड़ा करके 11 में तो I was studying for finals. ये तो थोड़ा gap भी आ गया था. Then again after clearing I started teaching. Full family was against. कि पागल है क्या मारवाड़ी लड़का कभी टीच. What if some रिश्ता will come तो what will we tell the girl का family that आपका लड़का क्या करता है? पढ़ाता है. He is a शिक्षक. I'm so happy to prove them wrong. Because now the same people. मेरा बेटा तो इधर जाता है. My mom is like उस टाइम पे तो she was strongly against it. CA बन के कोई पढ़ाता है क्या? तो फिर CA की पढ़ाई का क्या फायदा? तो मैं बोला I am not teaching A for apple to people. You someday come to class and see the people whom I interact with. And what am I teaching? And of course over the years people started knowing from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. मतलब चलते फिरते किधर भी एयरपोर्ट पे mom is with me या train is with me चलते. Sir I am your online student. Sir I am. तो ऑटोमेटिकली परसेप्शन चेंज हो गया. बट स्टिल शी डिड नॉट नो माई वर्क. शी जस्ट न्यू दैट पीपल नो मी. कम लॉकडाउन तो जो सुबह 7 बजे हॉल में बैठ के लेक्चर लेता था घर. ऑफ कोर्स इन ड्यू कोर्स आई रियलाइज के हॉल में वो रिकॉर्डिंग बराबर नहीं हो रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ लाइट का इफेक्ट. वो सन कम्स तो ब्राइट हो जाता है. सन वापस थोड़ा ऊपर चला जाता है तो वो इट यूज टू क्रिएट डिफिकल्टी इन माई ऑन गोइंग लेक्चर. तो आई डिसाइडेड टू शिफ्ट टू द बेडरूम. लेकिन वो थोड़े दिन जो लेक्चर लिया ना खाली सुन के वही समझ में कुछ नहीं आया. लेकिन माझा मुलगा किती छान बोलतो वही. तो सुनो स्टार्टिंग में एवरीबडी वॉज अगेंस्ट बट आई वॉज डूइंग माई वर्क. मैंने तो ये भी काम किया है मॉर्निंग 7 to 9:30 टीचिंग. 10 o'clock जॉब स्टार्ट्स. 10:15 यू रीच मतलब हाफ डे एब्सेंट मार्क करेंगे. हाफ डे का सैलरी कट. 6:30 is the end time of office. Work used to start at 6:15, 6:20. There was this boss who was full day absent. Full day absent. Where he was nowhere about. He used to come from Kandivali. I had strong, and office was in Fort. I had a strong feeling कि उनका इस एरिया में दूसरा एक और फैमिली होएगा लगता है. That very full day पता ही नहीं कोई अता पता ही नहीं. Suddenly 6:20 को अरे कल वो केस का हियरिंग है आपको बैठना पड़ेगा. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. First day of my job I came home at 11 o'clock. My father asked me, क्या कर रहा था? How was your first day? Father, no, first day at job. How was it? I said, I can't define how it was, but I am telling you that I won't work for very long. Initially, he was upset कि तेरे को जॉब में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, तेरे को टीचिंग ही करना है, तो तू छोड़, ऐसा करके थोड़ा सार्कास्टिकली ही सेड कि तेरे को नहीं करना है, ऐसा है कि तेरे को टीचिंग ही करना है, तो हम लोग के लिए कर रहा है. आफ्टर 1 week, one day I came home, he said तू कल रेजिग्नेशन दे के आना. He himself said, because he said, एक तो 11 बजे I used to, अच्छा, at that time I was teaching whatever I was getting. So I was teaching binomial distribution, Poisson distribution to CPT students. कोई एक दिन अचानक से फोन आया, सर मेरे को वो इंटर का अमेलगमेशन का चैप्टर मेरी क्लास में अच्छे से नहीं कराया, तो वो करने का. सर बाकी सब आता है, सिंगल एंट्री नहीं आता है, वो करने. आई हैव टॉट सीए इंटर अकाउंट्स कॉस्टिंग एफएम डीटी आईडीटी ऑडिट. आई हैव टॉट सीए फाइनल अकाउंट्स कॉस्टिंग एफएम डीटी आईडीटी ऑडिट. लॉ नहीं पढ़ाया. एंड इसका जो कंप्यूटर्स वाला है आपका EISMI बाप दादा कैन ऑल्सो नॉट टीच दैट. No one knows why they exist in CA का syllabus, but they are there in CA का syllabus to maintain overall pass percentage. Life was very painful because वो जो next day morning पढ़ाना है, ऐसा थोड़ी कि I had studied 5 years ago when I was studying for CPT, तो अभी याद है मेरे को. तुमको याद है कल पढ़ाया था वो? तो रात को क्या है? अच्छा कल का याद है, बाइनोमियल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का फॉर्मूला याद है, n फैक्टोरियल r फैक्टोरियल कुछ लिमिट 10 to infinity कुछ नहीं ना. तो रात को 3 घंटा बैठ के पढ़ना पड़ता था. समटाइम्स जब मतलब मॉर्निंग 2 hour लेक्चर तो 4 hour स्टडीज. बिकॉज व्हाट एग्जांपल आई यूज्ड टू प्लान माय जोक्स आल्सो. इतना एक्सटेंसिव प्लानिंग तभी, नहीं तो न्यू कमर को हु विल एक्सेप्ट. आज इतना यंग और हैंडसम है, तो इमेजिन करो 2010 में 11 में पता ही नहीं चलता था हु इज स्टूडेंट हु इज टीचर. अंटिल टुडे मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूं. आई एम गोइंग विथ माय स्टूडेंट, इट इज अ लिटिल डिफिकल्ट फॉर पीपल टू आइडेंटिफाई स्टूडेंट कौन है, टीचर कौन. तो ये सब थोड़ा सा देख, इधर भी वाइट आए, इधर देख मैं टीचर. मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूं. इट वॉज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टाइम, क्योंकि आई यूज्ड टू स्लीप ओनली फॉर 4-5. ठीक है, थोड़े टाइम में आई रिजाइन फ्रॉम दैट जॉब सो दैट आई टोल्ड माई पेरेंट्स दैट आई कैन फोकस ऑन माई टीचिंग वाला पार्ट. आई गॉट अ जॉब इन अ कोचिंग क्लास, तो फुल टाइम टीचिंग था. लेकिन पैसा वॉज वॉट, 200 रुपया घंटा, 300 रुपया घंटा. आई स्टार्टेड विथ 200 रुपीज पर आवर, because that was like articleship of teachers. Training चाहिए ना. No one is giving you a chance because you are new. Somebody is ready to give you chance at 1/5 of what you want या 1/10 of what you want. करना है तो कर, because they also know कि दूसरी कोई जगह पे you are not going to get a chance. That was not exploitation. Exploitation नहीं था, because I'll tell you that whatever they used to save by hiring new professors, they used to do extensive research whether you are worth having. Multiple demos they used to take, but once they were convinced कि ये अच्छा, ये चलेगा, offer इतना, because nobody was anyways going to recruit you. And talent देख के पता चल जाता कि sincere है, क्योंकि sincere होएगा तो ही that talent will work. तो जो वो सेव करते थे, because teaching में सबसे expensive is the faculty for any organization, that they used to pass on to the students. मतलब 25,000 में फुल CA फाइनल, 18,000 में फुल CA इंटर, 12,000 में फुल CPT, that is they used to pass it on, and that was the lowest price across the country. पहली बात तो आउटसाइड मुंबई तो there were no coaching classes only those days. Students used to come to Mumbai, and in Mumbai that class used to charge the lowest, which is why students from extremely underprivileged background also without coaching CA cannot work. This used to be their choice, and the good students used to get results, so it was not exploitation, and ultimately अपने को chance मिला. But bad luck ये था that the owner of the organization passed away and the organization collapsed. इतना गंदा situation था that now what to do, because 2012 में my father also passed away और my brother was still studying. वो इतना painful situation के मतलब 5 तारीख आया, तो आई हैव टू पे लाइट बिल, आई हैव टू पे फोन बिल, आई हैव टू पे लाइट, ये आयरन वाले का बिल, आई हैव टू पे मिल्क वाले का बिल. पैसा लाओ किधर से? There are plenty of family businesses, plenty of people. Even today I can go, everything I can stop and go, multiple zeros in my income. लेकिन इट विल ब्रिंग डिसरिस्पेक्ट टू माई प्रोफेशन. हाँ बहुत सीए किया ना, आखिर तो इधर ही आना पड़ा ना. आई डोंट वांट टू डू दैट. अभी करूं क्या? 2 साल मेहनत करके आई हैड सेव्ड सम मनी. मतलब इट वाज नॉट इमीडिएट के भाई अभी का अभी दैट टुडे आई डोंट हैव मनी टू पे बिल्स. बट पॉइंट ये था कि आई वाज किलिंग माय सेविंग्स. 10-15 days के बाद आई वाज ऑलमोस्ट अंडर डिप्रेशन बिकॉज व्हाट विल आई डू, वेयर विल आई गो, द ओनली ऑर्गेनाइजेशन व्हिच वाज प्रोवाइडिंग वर्क हैज कोलैप्स्ड. अभी क्या करूं? नो वन एल्स इज विलिंग टू recruit. Newcomers को nobody is recruiting. And all those who said no to me that time, I am saying no to them today. लेकिन उस टाइम पे क्या करूं? One of my cousins came to my house. होली था उस दिन, 2013 का होली था. So few months had passed. I remember 2013 का होली था. He said कि तू इतने दिन से मेरा फोन क्यों नहीं उठा रहा है? Were you very busy with lectures? I said what lectures? I am very busy doing nothing. I don't want to talk to anyone. He said, दिमाग मत खराब कर. He took me to his building. 2 floors commercial, 3rd floor open, 4th floor से residential. He said, मेरी बिल्डिंग में सीए की एक बहुत बड़ी कोचिंग क्लास चलती है. Whole of South Mumbai comes here. I know the broker. There is huge footfall of CA students. We all know that you are talented. We all know that you will work hard. Only thing is that people don't know you as much as people know that other coaching class. Why don't you start here? यहाँ पे तेरे उस कोचिंग क्लास के बाजू में बड़ा बोर्ड लगवाने का गारंटी मेरा. I know people here. बस यही है कि 1 year का रेंट you will have to pay in advance. And for me it was like hit out or get out, do or die. करो या मत. I said ठीक है. Now I don't want to approach anybody. I invested money. क्योंकि 1.5-2 years काम करके फाइनल सीए के मार्केट में थोड़ा सा नेम एस्टेब्लिश हो गया था. बिकॉज फाइनल सीए वाज ऑलवेज अबाउट किसके पास टैक्स पड़ता है, किसके पास कॉस्टिंग पड़ता है, किस क्लास में जाता है. वाज नेवर द क्राइटेरिया सिंस देन इवन टुडे. आई सेड थोड़ा बहुत तो एडमिशन हो जाएगा. बट वॉट एवर आई सेव्ड फॉर 1.5 years ऑफ वर्किंग, पूरा का पूरा पैसा वॉज इन्वेस्टेड इन पेइंग रेंट. साउथ मुंबई में फुल ईयर का रेंट इन एडवांस मतलब खत्म है. 1.5 year का सेविंग्स. साथ में एक्सपेंसेस वर तो ऑल्सो देयर नो, बिकॉज व्हाट आई वाज अर्निंग वेरी हैंडसम विथ माई एक्सपेक्टेशंस एंड माई बीइंग अ न्यू कमर. लेकिन एवरीथिंग वाज वाइप्ड आउट इन ओनली पेइंग दैट एडवांस का रेंट. आई कैन नॉट स्टार्ट अ सीए कोचिंग क्लास विदाउट हैविंग एन एसी इन द क्लासरूम. अभी क्या करूं? एसी लगाओ कैसे? 1 AC is 35,000 रुपीज. पैसा कहां से लाऊं? And I did not want to borrow from anyone. क्योंकि फैमिली बिजनेस में बोरो किया मतलब इज्जत खत्म. I didn't want to borrow. I said कुछ तो करूं, कुछ तो करूं. तभी जब चप्पल घिसा ना तब पता चला that AC भाड़े पे मिलता है. विंडो AC 300 रुपीज पर मंथ एंड स्प्लिट AC 500 रुपीज पर मंथ. तो एनुअल रेंट 6,000. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम एनुअल यू हैव टू पे इन एडवांस. साथ में देयर इज अ कॉपर पाइप, स्पेशली स्प्लिट एसीज में एक पाइप होता है विच टेक्स दिस मशीन टू द आउटसाइड वाला मशीन. कंपनी विल गिव ओनली अ सर्टन अमाउंट ऑफ कॉपर पाइप. इफ द डिस्टेंस इज मोर देन दैट तो यू हैव टू इंस्टॉल. तो उस कॉपर पाइप का कुछ 200-250 रुपीज पर फीट उस टाइम पे लगता था. उसका कुछ 10-15,000 विल कम. अभी रेंटेड एसी में द ओनर ऑफ द एसी विल नॉट गिव मी पाइप. नया एसी खरीदूंगा तो पाइप विल कम. नया का तो पैसा नहीं था. एंड देन आई सीए का ब्रेन. नेक्स्ट ईयर अगेन आई हैव टू पे 6,000. नेक्स्ट ईयर अगेन आई हैव टू पे. तो आई स्टार्टेड डूइंग द कैलकुलेशन. नया एसी खरीदूंगा तो हाईएस्ट कॉस्ट इज 35. दिस इज कॉस्टिंग. ओके. इफ आई एम टेकिंग एसी ऑन रेंट, रेंट इज लेस बट वन टाइम कॉस्ट ऑफ इंस्टॉलेशन एंड कॉपर पाइप प्लस रेंट एवरी ईयर. इतना दिमाग लगा के आई गॉट एन आइडिया. सेकेंड हैंड एसी खरीदा 10,000. आई सेड जितना चले उतना चले. कौन सा क्लास पूरा भरने वाला है? स्टूडेंट्स विल बी तो लेस ओनली नो. इतने में भी हो जाएगा. एंड सीए कोचिंग में एक बात तो पक्का है कि थोड़े टाइम के बाद में स्टूडेंट्स ओनली से सर बंद करूंगा. एंड ऑब्जर्व दैट ऑलरेडी 1.5 year हो गया था ना पढ़ाते पढ़ाते. मोर देन दैट हो गया था बिकॉज दिस वॉज अबाउट 2013. बीच में थोड़ा सा फाइनल के टाइम पे थोड़े पीरियड का गैप आया था. अदरवाइज इट वॉज स्टिल मोर देन 1.5 almost 2 years ऑलरेडी इनटू टीचिंग. तो ये सब ना चप्पल घिस के नॉलेज आता है. यू डोंट गेट दिस नॉलेज ऐसे. दिस इज नॉट टॉट समवेयर इन द बुक्स. सीए की कोचिंग ने ये नहीं पढ़ाया था दैट आई विल हैव टू मेक एन एनालिसिस बिटवीन न्यू एसी, रेंटेड एसी एंड देन कम टू अ कंक्लूजन दैट आई शुड टेक अ सेकेंड हैंड एसी. बट गॉड वॉज काइंड, हार्ड वर्क बहुत किया एंड उसके बाद में सेकेंड एंड थर्ड बैच के ऑनवर्ड्स एवरीवन इन साउथ मुंबई ने क्या डायरेक्ट टैक्स का कोचिंग लेना है तो यू गो ओनली एट वन प्लेस. फाइनल में तो डायरेक्ट दे यूज टू टेक सब्जेक्ट वाइज एडमिशन ओनली. इंटर में द सिस्टम ऑल थ्रू आउट हैज बीन ऑल सब्जेक्ट्स अंडर वन रूफ. ऑल सब्जेक्ट्स अंडर वन रूफ लेके भी ओनली डायरेक्ट टैक्स का कोचिंग के लिए दे यूज टू कम. बोला सर हमारा क्लास का टाइमिंग इज 1 to 7. ठीक है, आई सेड नो प्रॉब्लम, आई विल टेक योर बैच 8 to 10. किस टाइम पे यू डोंट हैव क्लास? बोल तेरे को रात को 9 से 12 पढ़ना है, कम टू माई ऑफिस, बट आई विल नॉट लेट यू गो. मतलब ये ऑल दिस इज ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड इफ यू वॉन्ट टू सर्वाइव, बिकॉज यू आर फेसिंग, you are at a place where there are crocodiles sitting to eat you. Okay, तो when someone asks no सर ये इतना घमंड, इतना अकड़, मेरे को नहीं काम करना है तो मैं नहीं करूंगा, ये क्यों आया? Because I know that if at that time I could do everything from zero, तो today अगर किधर भी सटक जाता है, I said I don't want to continue, मतलब I don't want to continue. अगर सटक गया किसी दिन किधर भी कोपडे, there is a proverb, ऐकलेला आहेत का मला सांग? शून्यातून सुरुवात करणाऱ्याला हरण्याची भीती नसते. नहीं समझा? इट्स ओके, आई ट्रांसलेट. यू आर नॉट अफ्रेड ऑफ लूजिंग इफ यू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम जीरो एंड यू हैव ऑलरेडी एक्सपीरियंस्ड दैट. समझा क्या? तो पॉइंट ये है दैट ऑल दीज एसेट्स, वेदर इट इज योर फर्नीचर, वेदर इट इज योर प्लांट एंड मशीनरी, एंड मशीनरी का डेफिनेशन इज वेरी वाइड. क्वेश्चन ये है, is it possible that these assets are acquired on rent? Yes, sir. And it is for the purpose of your business or profession. Yes. देखो, if I take furniture or plant and if I take गाड़ी on rent, say I go on a picnic with my family and I take a Zoom car over there, that's machinery taken on rent, but personal purpose. Anyways, it is not allowed. But I am talking about plant and machinery and furniture taken on rent for the purpose of business or profession. Is this an expense for the purpose of business? Yes. Will it be allowed in section 30? No. क्यों? This is furniture and plant and machinery. ठीक है, तो 31 में तो है ना? This means, therefore, rent of plant and machinery and furniture not allowed? Wait. How many sections of allowed expenses are over? 30 and 31. ये तो बस शुरुआत है. We have to go up to. If some other section gives us deduction, so we will see. But as of now, not. बाद में देखेंगे. As of now, it is not allowed. Are we clear on this? So, section 30, rent, rate, taxes, repairs and insurance of building. 31, repairs and insurance of plant and machinery, furniture. Both cases, main criteria, only criteria, hard-hitting criteria, deciding factor, only thing that matters, only thing that is relevant is used for the purpose of business or profession. So, if it is for home, disallowed. Office, but knowing that is not enough, you will have to go and compare in accounts. If it is allowed and debited, no need to do anything. Disallowed and debited, so add. Allowed and debited, आराम से cut. Again, allowed and debited, disallowed and debited. Pakka? Giving a deferred answer after 5 seconds is okay, but wrong answer is not okay. Debited and disallowed, सेम क्वेश्चन था. क्या सोच रहा है? मैंने पहले आई आस्क डिसअलाउड एंड डेबिटेड, हाँ ऐड बराबर है, कॉन्फिडेंट. अभी बोला डेबिटेड एंड डिसअलाउड तो बोला नहीं, ये क्या था? नॉट डेबिटेड एंड अलाउड, allowed but not debited. सेम था. Not debited and not allowed. Understood? You need to, but conclusion is only this, that you need to compare it with your accounts. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Chaliye. This will take us to the, in terms of size, the biggest section of the chapter. Biggest section. There are three really big sections. 32 hai, there is 135, there is 135 AD. These three are the biggest sections of the chapter. Okay. 32 is one of them. And between today and tomorrow, we will be able to, I think, complete almost about the section 32. If I remove these three sections, no 32, 35, 35 AD, the size of PGBP will reduce to half. Together they comprise of 50% of your PGBP. But that is okay. Point kya hai? Section 32 is a section in the list of allowed expense. Section 32, the deduction for depreciation. क्या हुआ? ठंडी लग रहा है? Section 32, the deduction for depreciation. When you acquire an asset for the purpose of your business. मतलब अब मैं change करता हूं मेरा situation. This time I have not taken the building on rent. ना खरीद लिया. पैसा है अपने पास. I buy it. Office, देखो home I buy. Understood that no expense will be allowed. But if I buy office, question is it an expense?
Yes.
Incurred for your business or profession? We should give deduction to the assessee. But should we give the full cost of the asset as deduction to the assessee in the computation of 1 year ka income? No. We will give deduction of the cost of building, but little, small. In accounts also, we do not debit the cost of the asset in the P&L account. We debit small amounts. Bhikari ki tarah, ro ke, mar ke, in the name and nature of depreciation. So like in accounts, we show the expense little. In tax also, we take the deduction little. Small. That is the deduction of depreciation. I gave you example of building. Same cheese. Is it possible that finally I purchased that second hand AC? So that was not rent or repairs. It was purchase. Purchase of AC. Purchase of benches to kharida hi tha. See, necessary annual rent. Necessary was benches. Necessary was to keep some money aside. एक महीना खत्म होएगा, light bill has to be paid. एक महीने में what admissions will take place वो पता नहीं था ना. थोड़ा immaturity भी था. I thought मैं बैच अनाउंस करेगा तो I have this thinking even then. So today I have this thinking मैं हूं तो क्या बड़ी बात है. At that time my mentality, my mindset was this, immature. मैं हूं, मैं बैच अनाउंस करेगा तो फिर पागल. Student has already taken costing का class somewhere or SFM का class, financial management का class somewhere. Wants to join me but cannot join me because my timetable is clashing. मैं हूं, but इतना मान नहीं that the student will let that fees go away and come to me. इतना भी मान नहीं था bro. You understand what is happening? Okay. So because of immaturity, थोड़ा सा then I realized with my mistakes. खुद का ही चप्पल घिस के खुद को intelligent बना. So I realized कि I should not clash. I asked those faculties, sir, what will be your time? He said, I am not asking you to adjust anything quickly. But is your time fixed? Costing wala said, मेरा Monday, Wednesday fixed. I will not change. Accounts wala said, मेरा Tuesday, Thursday is fixed. Financial management wala is saying, मेरा Saturday morning, मतलब Friday, Saturday morning, मतलब all the 7 mornings of the students are occupied. अभी final का बच्चा can't come in the afternoon or evening. He has to go to office. ठीक है. Saturday evening को लेगा, Sunday afternoon को लेगा. What is the end time of costing lecture? Sunday को 1 o'clock. My batch will start at 2 o'clock. What is the morning timing of SFM on financial management on Saturday? 11 o'clock. I will take evening 6 to 9. Whichever time you don't have other coaching class, tell me. I will arrange it for you. Because that time I had to pull people. Then people will pull people. समझा? तो benches तो लगाना पड़ेगा. My question is, are all these expenses for the purpose of your activity? Should you get deduction? But not full cost as deduction. We will get थोड़ा by calling it depreciation, and that depreciation ka deduction will be given to the assessee under section 32, the biggest and one of the most important sections of business profession right up to CA final. Take this section very seriously. My estimate said that between the first two lectures of PGBP I will be able to complete depreciation ka lecture, because kal ka full lecture I have, and that is the reason I thought PGBP start karna is only more sensible. Okay, because what will happen, we have started allowed expenses and we have studied 3 sections. Depreciation, the term depreciation is not new to you. You have studied the concept of depreciation in accounts before. Depreciation is the reduction in due to wear and tear. Very good. और क्या? Constant use. और क्या? Passage of time. वाह, very good. मस्त है. Full knowledge you have. Now put that knowledge in कचरे का डब्बा. For tax purposes. ऐसा नहीं सर, आपने बोला अकाउंट्स में भी आई विल इग्नोर दिस. नहीं, अकाउंट्स का नॉलेज इन अकाउंट्स, क्योंकि टैक्स बोलता है. टैक्स बोलता है यू हैव अक्वायर्ड एन एसेट फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ योर बिजनेस, यू वांट डिडक्शन ऑफ दैट एसेट का कॉस्ट इन योर बिजनेस. ये सब नहीं देखेगा. दिस इज लेट अकाउंट्स रिमेन इन अकाउंट्स. We will check two conditions to get deduction of depreciation. Two condition. Condition 1, the asset should be owned by you. मतलब rented asset पे you can't take depreciation. I hope you understand. You have to acquire the asset. Plus means and means cumulative condition. This is something that is going to apply on all the allowed expenses. In order to get any deduction, this is a primary criteria. Owned and used. अभी हम लोग ना जैसे अकाउंट्स में तुम करता है ना, रिवाइंड एंड प्ले, वो करेगा. एंड यू हैव टू सिंग. आई गिव यू द बीट्स, आई गिव यू द म्यूजिक, आई स्टार्ट सिंगिंग, यू ज्वाइन मी. In order to get deduction of the cost of asset in tax, the deduction of depreciation under section 32, not full cost in 1 year, but in small parts in the name and nature of depreciation. Two conditions: owned and used. 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 बस. तो सुनो, accounts will charge depreciation when you buy your asset. You keep it in plastic cover and don't open, still at the end of the year you will charge depreciation. Passage of time. Tax won't. Tax will charge only if you use. वो भी not at home. But that is तो ठीक है. That तो you understood in 30 and 31 also, no? Use but not at home. For business or profession. So in order to get the deduction of depreciation, owned and used, owned and used, owned and used, owned. These are the two conditions. Accounts will remain in accounts. Tax says two conditions to get deduction of depreciation. That is, asset should be owned by you and used for the purpose of business. But in both these conditions, they have given you one leeway, English, one khidki, one window that you can manipulate. Owned में they say this will include hire purchase. Owned will include hire purchase. मतलब you acquire an asset by making full payment. That's owned by you. Take depreciation. Subject to second condition. You acquire an asset by making down payment, part payment. Hire purchase हुआ है अकाउंट्स में? क्या तुमको कोई भी चैप्टर कॉस्ट शीट हुआ है? नहीं. ये हुआ है? नहीं. ये हुआ है? नहीं. Anything I ask, you do it purposely. No, you all have decided unity करके नहीं. Hire purchase, installment sale. We make down payment, and then we take possession of asset. We have to pay the installments. We can also call them EMIs. When we pay our last installment, that is when we get legal ownership. If we default in any of the installments, then the organization from which we purchase can repossess our asset. Take it away. All this will come in your accounts का treatment. Hire purchase में आएगा repossession of asset. Okay. But I have till now made only part payment, and my legal ownership will come after the full payment last installment. But tax will assume that you will pay all the installments. Substance over form. Why should we assume that you will default? In fact, जब आप accounts करोगे, you will be taught there is a hire purchase buyer and there is a hire purchase vendor, the person from whom we purchase the asset. In accounts also depreciation is charged in the books of the buyer. Buyer का journal entry क्या हो? Journal entry क्या हो? Listen. Asset का value is supposedly 10 lakhs. मतलब cash में you buy तो 10 lakhs होगा, but that will be asset account debit to bank. But you don't have money. You are making down payment only of 1 lakh. बाकी का loan है. That means cash payment is only 1 lakh. Rest is outstanding paid by EMIs. You know the journal entry in accounts. Asset account debit 10 lakhs. To bank account 1 lakh. To vendor account 9 lakh. Means we are recording the asset at its value, full value. And we charge depreciation in the books of the buyer. जो vendor है ना, उसकी books में we just recognize the interest income. Because 9 lakh के ऊपर भी you will pay something. Right now we are crediting by 9 lakh. At the end of every month, we will say interest expense account debit to vendor account. So that will keep on getting credited, and EMIs में we will keep on adjusting the payments. So accounts में भी depreciation is charged in the books of the buyer, despite the fact that he has made only part payment, not full payment. And tax भी बोलता है that we will include that. मतलब you buy asset of 10 lakh by paying 1 lakh. You paid only 1 lakh. Asset is of 10 lakh. Take depreciation on full 10 lakh. If you've ever heard घर पे, ऑफिस पे, फैमिली में that asset ना लोन पे लेने का टैक्स में बेनिफिट रहता है. If you've heard people saying this, well, this is the proof. You make part payment and take full asset के cost का depreciation का deduction. When I purchased my first car, I purchased on EMI loan. कुछ 8,500 per month, full year का approximately 1 lakh odd some EMI was coming. मतलब annually I was making 1 lakh का payment, 5 years का loan. The income tax का deduction I was taking was much higher than 1 lakh. Because EMIs का interest I was showing as expense. Asset का depreciation was taken at the full value. Fuel का deduction I was taking, repair maintenance, all the deductions I was taking. Okay. So, by the time you finish your EMIs, you get far more tax benefit. Okay. The tax that you will save will be more than the EMIs का जो interest that is being charged. That's the maths here. So can I say two conditions, owned and used, owned and used. Owned will include hire purchase and use will include passive use. Passive use मतलब kept ready for use. मतलब क्या? सुनो. Any Anuradha fan here? नहीं? सुनो. ये पेन है. I am writing with this. Owned and used, kept ready for use. Anything will happen to this, my work will not stop. You understand? Extra AC. You understand? In this classroom, extra AC is not required. But still it is there if the AC which we are using is not working. So we have the other AC. Used, kept ready for use. Owned and used. दोनों में we can take depreciation. Owned includes hire purchase and use includes passive use. Passive means kept ready for use. Is that understood? We have just started depreciation. Please make sure that whatever we have done till now, since we started PGBP, everything and depreciation ka two conditions in particular, please study that and come tomorrow.